There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving. It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, 1,265 youth engaged with the GIAP. Between 2014 and 2017, 3,725 youth engaged with the Amani program, with a spend of over $190 million. So let's keep moving. Vote NNP. Vote competence. It's not really complicated. Elections are about choice. Between 2008 and 2013, $70 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Between 2014 and 2017, $185 million was spent on scholarships for youth. Vote NNP. Vote competence.
I know who I'm voting for. NNP I'm voting for. Tell me who you're voting for. NNP we voting for. So let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving. Debbie man is smiling. Let's keep moving. Salary receiving. Healthcare improving. Keep moving. Pension coming. Keep moving. Better condition. Keep moving. NNP the party for the land. Let's keep moving. Show me your colors. Let's keep moving. Your green colors. We came back in 2013. With a clean sweep we win 15. And my country progressing. NNPD winning team. 3,000 jobs for Imani. The way forward we please. Numbers of higher education. The passport yet volume billion. We create small business. We have the facts to prove this. Roamed in billion a day. NNP all the way. Let's keep moving. The economy growing. Let's keep moving. Construction booming. Let's keep moving.
After a powerful nomination day, the new National Party candidates are ready for your vote. Tuesday, February 20th was the first step towards the restoration of pensions, the implementation of national health insurance, the building of over 600 houses for Grenada, further expansion in tourism, and the creation of hundreds of more jobs. The Dream 15 is ready to take Grenada to the next level. On March 13, come out and vote the new National Party. Vote competence.
Oh, we're winning right now, say we're winning right.
Grenada has moved from an economy in years of negative growth, negative 2%, to one of the fastest growing economies in the region, plus 5%. So let's keep moving with the NNP.
Every election campaign is full of old talk and grand promises. Let history be your guide. Is who likely to better perform in government? Election is not about choosing perfect. They are about choosing the best one offer. Vote competent. Vote the NNP.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choices. On March 13th, choose to keep Grenada moving forward. Mark an X next to the house. Vote competence. Vote NNP.
Building a stronger economy means all Grenadian workers benefit, those who work in the public service and those who work elsewhere. Now that the period of shared sacrifices is over, the benefits must be shared among every Grenadian. More money for house repair, more money to improve healthcare, more money for training, more money for education, and yes, more money for public servants. $55 million in various payments. We are the Grenadian family looking out for each other. And even as we fight for ourselves and our families, we always remember our neighbors. We forge ahead together.
We got to come together, learn to love your brother, love your...
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
Official voters list now out. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. The official consolidated list of electors as at February 20th, 2018 is now out. The Parliamentary Elections Office says the list is now available for inspection and can be found at all parliamentary elections constituency offices, post offices, police stations, medical stations and other public places. During an interview with the Government Information Service, Mr. Ferdinand Phillip, the Voter and Civic Registration Officer at the Elections Office, says close to 3,000 people took advantage of the last-minute registration period to ensure that their names are included on the list.
That is the finally revised list for the upcoming general elections. Now, we would have gone through, as of the 29th of January, all persons, and my memory serves me correct, we said 2,913 persons got registered in the month of January, which I think is a record. You know, I am not privy to the figures, you know, prior to January 2012, you know, and leading up to the elections of 2013. But since I've been at the office, it's 2,913 persons, you know, last minute persons who would have, you know, gone through that rush, especially on that last day.
The outgoing chairman of CARICOM is calling for an urgent rethinking of two major issues that affect small, vulnerable countries like Grenada. Addressing the 29th intersessional meeting of CARICOM heads in Haiti on Monday, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell spoke to the EU's unfair and unjust classification of Grenada and other countries as non-cooperative tax jurisdictions last December, as well as the classification of many affected by hurricanes as middle-income countries. He says these should be urgently addressed.
In the first instance, there should be one international standard with respect to tax transparency and accountability, to eliminate arbitrary rules and regulations from various jurisdictions. Secondly, vulnerability must be a factor in considering access to concessional development financing.
Dr. Mitchell also used the opportunity to address the subject of intra-regional air travel, pointing out that there is a critical need to reduce its cost. He echoed a call made to CARICOM colleagues last July to collectively agree to reduce airline ticket taxes and other fees attached to intra-regional travel. He said this would represent a significant installment to the regional integration account and pointed out that the premier air travel carrier for the region must be made to operate as an efficient and sustainable business without direct influence from governments and politicians. The CARICOM Intersessional was also addressed by CARICOM Secretary General Erwin Larocque, who spoke of the negative effects that crime and violence are having on the region.
This is taking a heavy toll on the society, not only with respect to the loss of life, but with injuries and psychological trauma. The greatest impact is on our families. The foundation of any strong society is the family, and within that circle, that the battle against the scourge must begin.
This is the National Report. More news after the break. Further upgrade work is to be undertaken at the existing airport in Lauriston, Carriacou. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell and candidate for Carriacou and Petite Martinique, Kindra Mathurin Stewart, both made a reference to the subject during the NNP rally in Carriacou on Sunday.
My friends, we will also be seeking and we'll be looking for funding to either expand the airport or relocate the airport so that we can facilitate and increase airlift into Carriacou.
While the runway at Lauriston is expanded, there are also plans to build a new airport on the sister isle.
I want to ensure that this happens before I leave government, sisters and brothers. So Carriacou, this is one and the thing I'm promising you, we will deliver a new airport for Carriacou and Petite Martinique.
A young woman from Grenada has been recognized as the 18th Commonwealth Point of Light for her service to empower young people to protect the environment and raise awareness of climate change. Ms. Carisha Hobson was recognized by Queen Elizabeth II in the lead-up to the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting as she thanks Inspiration volunteers across the 52 Commonwealth nations. Hobson is the national coordinator of the Grenada chapter of the Caribbean Youth Environmental Network, an organization that empowers young people to protect the environment. She's also leading efforts to push the Litter Act through Parliament and coordinates outreach beach cleanup projects to raise awareness of climate change. The award was presented by the Queen's representative, Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagrenade.
We would like you to continue doing your good work. I know you made an impression on Prince Harry when he was here, so that's probably coming out of all that you told him about your work with the coral gardens and trying to save our coral reefs around the island. So, congratulations.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
We have done a lot in St. David's to be proud of. I want to thank the people for their continued support. We had great success in the area of education. So we give over 20-something scholarship to university, plus a number of students we help to go to TAMCC. And so education has been my main focus. We have also done a lot of infrastructure work. The St. Dominic's preschool that was gutted by fire in 2011 was completely refurbished.
This school is like an essential school in the area, and we are very happy to have that kind of environment that is conducive for education and learning.
We have done the water treatment plant in Mount Agnes and in Mondelez. And we have done a number of road work throughout the constituency that is there for all to see. We're going to light up the Lassages playing field. We have upgraded 5 playing fields, and including new toilet facilities in the agricultural sector. Continue to give incentives to farmers, help them get to market. For the youth, we have had a number of Imani trainees. A lot of our people got jobs in the call center. In fact, over the last 4.5 years, the unemployment rate in St. David's fell because of the number of young men in the construction sector. And so I am very pleased. I know there are a lot more work to be done. I ask for your continued support so I can continue doing all the work that I've started in St. David's. So St. David's, let's keep moving with the new National Party. The future is bright.
The whole they put us in what's too deep and dark. Tell them no way we're not going back. To Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. Yeah, something is not right there. Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again.
Green, give me voting green. Green, give me voting green. Green, give me voting green. We voting NNP again. Exercise your rights and vote for us. NNP will always put you first.
Yes, good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pity Martinique. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott. Yes, indeed. And this is Hard Talk. Yeah, you realize we still having a little issue with the studio and that kind of thing. The GT gone, tell us nothing, all kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Yes, indeed.
Grenada standing strong with the little black man. We voting green. We voting green. We voting NNP. Pity Martinique, Carriacou. We voting green. We voting green. Green. We voting green. We voting NNP again. Standing is not an option for us. Can't afford to backpedal and reverse. The hole they put us in was too deep and dark. Tell them no way, we're not going back. We're going forward ever. Keep moving. Building up Grenada. Keep moving. Keep moving. We voting NNP again. Imani program. Keep helping the youth of this nation. Keep moving. Keep moving. We voting NNP again. NNP have a plan. Keep voting to develop this nation. Keep voting. Green. Keep voting. We voting NNP again. Grenada standing strong with the little black man. We voting.
Yes, indeed. And today's list of meetings, yeah. All right. Yeah, I think you all should be hearing me okay there. No, nice, right. Today's list of meetings: St. Andrew Southeast Marquee on the basketball court for 6:30. St. David, Old Wester Hall by Dero Garage. South St. George, yeah, they're going to be in Montooth this evening. St. John, they're going to be in, oh boy, no, I have to double check that information. That's not the information I have for St. John. St. Patrick West, Rose Hill Junction, that's a joint meeting with St. Patrick East. Huh? Yes, so just going over those again. St. Andrew Southeast Marquee on the basketball court. St. David, Old West Hall by Dero Garage. South St. George, there in Montooth. St. John, I'm seeing this saying Loretto Junction here. That's not what I have. I have actually, it's supposed to be in Central. Yes, it's in Central today. St. Patrick West, Rose Hill Junction. All right? Yeah. So those are the 5 meetings for today. St. Andrew Southeast Marquee on the basketball court. St. David, Old West Hall by Dero Garage. South St. George in Montooth. St. John in Central. Yeah, and St. Patrick West, Rose Hill Junction. St. Andrew Southwest has a meeting today as well. Devon, I believe they have one this evening. Oh boy, I think I lost my... Yes, I got it here. Right, so there's a joint meeting. Okay. Tomorrow. No, you see, that's the thing. There's anything tie up, yeah? So St. Andrew Southwest, you're all going to have to call and tell me when your meeting is, because see something with a Thursday, and right after it have a Tuesday, and they're telling me something about next week. We're dealing with this week, right? Nice? Yep. Yeah, so they're going to have to send something and tell me exactly St. Andrews Southwest. And the other constituencies, please call in. Let us know where your meetings are for today. Because getting a list from the main office, but it seems in some instances that you are changing the meeting and are not informing properly. Yeah, and that can't work. Send the proper. You know me, I go say it. I ain't go hide and say it. Send the proper thing. All right?
We want effective communication.
Yeah, we want effective communication. Let's say a special good morning to all of the radio stations broadcasting today, 97.5 City Sound FM, yeah?
89.5 CRFM.
Yeah, also 91.9, 91.5 Real FM broadcasting out of St. Patrick.
And 92.9 Sister Isle, Carriacou.
Yeah, Sister Isles in Carriacou, you good? Yeah. Nice, yeah. Lando and Mando and all of you all, yeah? You all good? Nice, I hope all of you doing well, man.
Good morning, Lisa.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, best barbecue lamb you could get, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, cause morning. Yeah, and morning to all the listeners in Carriacou. Met so many of you over the last weekend. Yeah. And so we're just saying a special glorious Grenadian good morning to each and every one of you.
To all the public workers especially.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Carriacou.
Yeah.
Hold the fort.
Hey, just remember, folks, Friday, we're going green. Yeah, we're going green.
Green Friday.
We say we're going green. That is a hard talk thing. The new National Party ain't officially sanctioned that. Yeah. That is hard talk. We're going green Friday.
We're going green.
Yeah, so it's a Go Green Friday. Go Green Friday. So this Friday, we're going green. Yeah? So if you see about 20, 30 of us in one location, it will be green.
You know what?
You understand? You know what time it is. The other
hard talk, call it out.
Remember the other party that say they ain't wearing no special color right now, they wearing all kind of color and all kind of things. So we could get them some NNP t-shirt too.
Yeah. And they asking for it.
Don't afraid to get them, if they want an NNP t-shirt, get them anyway. We have a caller. Somebody calling, maybe one of the constituencies. Let's see. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. You're very low.
How do you do?
Quite fine.
And Devon also.
Yes, my brother.
Doing?
Yeah, we're great.
Okay, I'm calling from St. Patrick's West constituency.
Go right ahead.
Last night we had a nice meeting, successful meeting at Monk Rivers Junction, where candidate Anthony Boston, Pamela Moses, and former parliamentary representative Spaceman, former Pablo, Clifton Paul, and then even former candidate Carl Caton. We had a nice meeting at Monk Rivers Western Junction last evening. What I want to inform the public that there will be another joint meeting this evening, 6:30 p.m. at Rose Hills Junction, right? And we expect Prime Minister and political leader Dr. Mitchell to be in attendance, and also Peter David and Chester Humphrey. So I'm asking everybody, one and all, to come out in the numbers as we normally do. And while we are organizing all these pocket meetings that come on the heels of each other, we are also mobilizing for Sunday's rally at Antin, right, in St. George's. So we want this thing to be big, real big, huge, and so on. So again, the appeal is out to all, start organizing, start mobilizing. We have already contacted our bosses, and we are in constant communication, contact with our people, reminding them that we have to come out in our numbers, right? We have to bond the eyes, right? We have to come out in our numbers. As we keep moving, so Sheldon and Devon,
partners, hey, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, man. Before you go,
I'm hearing you very low.
Okay. Yeah. Before you go,
Yeah.
I see something on Facebook with the for past year.
Yeah.
I realize that certain people only utilize a portion of the place on Sunday.
Of the place, yeah. Maybe it was too big for them. So
I see they use a strip and just a little piece of the place they use and they jam everybody inside it.
Yeah, exactly. They say that's called psychology.
But bro, we didn't do that when we went in Plains.
Plains was massive.
But we just take up a look. We cut off the local tip of the thing just to put the stage.
Exactly.
And we utilize the whole place.
We're talking about what was within the confines of the park, the grounds itself, and the spillover. That was massive. In Plains, that was massive.
You know the thing, eh?
We want to repeat what happened in Plains. Well, Tantin would be even bigger. Because as they come closer to the thing, as they come closer to polling day, to March 13th, the crowd is going to increase and increase and increase. But we're looking forward to Sunday.
But hear this now.
Yeah.
there's the same people I was talking about. Don't watch the size of the crowd. Don't bother with the crowd. Don't worry about the crowd. But all of a sudden on Monday, they were jumping on one foot, shouting out, "You ain't see crowd. You ain't see crowd. You ain't see crowd."
That is the contradiction with these people. They contradict themselves over and over again. That's the contradiction with them. At one time, there was one time when they took a lot of credit for the ranking that the MIF and the World Bank gave them. IMF and the World Bank gave. And what. And they credited everything. But when it's for somebody else, in the case of the NNP, and we say, oh, look, the ranking and the ratings from the figures, the questioning the figures and the questioning this and the questioning that, something is wrong with these people. The same people who measure standard, who they do the measurement, however they measure the thing, the yardstick, that they use to measure, and it's the same thing that they use all the time. But in their case, when it's for them, it's okay, it's fine, nothing is wrong with that. But when it's for somebody else, the figures are suspect. This is this and this is out of place and this is the other and so on. But they continue to cry for, like somebody was telling me this morning, they were talking about 51 persons from another constituency would have registered in Northeast, St. George Northeast. And then Dowden also in St. George Northwest. But no, what I must say that one gave me laughter. When I heard on a program Sunday gone that Dr. Mitchell was on Barrow's time, and then Ali Gordon had him on the run. But this one will have that.
No, I think they lose touch with reality. They've seriously lost touch with reality. But since they're interested in the size of crowds, I think all NNPites and all peace-loving, patriotic Grenadians have something to show them on Sunday. So we're all heading down to Tantine. And I know St. Patrick coming down in a number. So much bus it have? 100?
A lot of buses. Numberless. Right. Because here, people are coming in, just pouring in. The jerseys, the what bus, what time we live in, and that kind of thing. How we going down? You want to know the format? Motorcade style, I say, well, most likely, you have to be motorcade style. So people are coming in and inquiring on a daily basis. You know, the office is in Florida, people are coming and wanting to know what's going on.
All right.
You understand? So the hype is there. So all we have to do is to maintain that until within the next 13 days or so, you know?
Okay, my brother.
Yes.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes.
And say a special good morning to Tone for us.
Yes, I will. Right. Okay, good. Right, good.
Yes, indeed. 440. Yeah, man. 440-7377 constituencies. You can call in and let us know. So we know that Rose Hill. Yeah, Rose Hill. Last night, boy. Woo, beaten. Yeah, watch. I passed something looking like a wake in Pedmata. You know, some people wearing they wasn't wearing black, they was wearing yellow. Something looking like a wake in Pedmata. And when I reached down in Beaton, boy, vibes over vibes, you know. Boy, Beaton people came out. Laura Laffem. Woo. Papa.
St. Andrew Southwest had an excellent turnout to Honorable Yulan being Horsford.
Yes.
You know, out there. And so, but you know, and it's very important that the candidates of the NNP is going from the polling divisions to polling divisions, spreading the message, letting the constituents, especially within that polling division, know what are the plans, what was done and what are the plans in going forward for that particular polling division. And that's what has to happen.
Yeah. Oops, we lost that one.
You know?
Yeah, I think we found the problem. So you realize we're hearing.
Yes,
nice,
definitely.
So I think we found what the problem was. Let's go to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Brother Sheldon. Morning, Brother Devon. How are you guys doing?
Quite fine.
Good.
Okay, I just wanted to call again. I'm calling from South to remind people of the meeting tonight in Montu, 6:30 p.m. We're asking one and all to come and hear the plans of the next MP for the area, Brother Nicholas Steele. We also would have Prime Minister in attendance and a number of other hard-hitting speakers. So you're all invited, 6:30 p.m. Montu. And I just encourage each one on polling day, go out early, put your X or put a mark in the box by the house, and let's keep moving.
All right, my brother. Yep. We'd like to thank you. So, Montu. Right. Montu later. All right. Yeah, man. Nicholas is the man in Salt. Watch. Let me drop a tune for them. Let me drop a tune.
NDC can come back at all.
Not one seat for them.
We want progress and no more scandal.
Not one seat for them.
Hear what I tell all you. When you vote in election day, let the progress continue.
Not one seat for them.
We cannot take that chance.
Not one seat for them.
Green is the insurance.
Not one seat for them.
We got to keep moving. So this election, when all you vote, let us bury Nazim. 5 years ago, we made a change because the country needed to be rearranged. LDC got in power, the country they couldn't run. Instead of lifting us up, them buggers they bring us straight to the ground. Look at how the country take off, man with so much speed. Just because we give Dr. Mitchell another chance to lead. When keep they in power, man we does beat with chess. Because that is the only time we country does make progress.
Not one seat for them.
Get the broom and let we sweep clean.
Not one seat for them.
Forget broom and we vacuum in.
Not one seat for them.
The hat don't have no romance. So if all you love your country, with yellow don't take a chance.
Not one seat for them.
Man, we want everything.
Not one seat for them.
Not 14, we taking 15.
Not one seat for them.
We don't want no opposition. Because them fellas in NDC have no love for the nation. Our worst experience was under NDC. So much mismanagement of the economy.
Yes, folks, 440. Oops, I left the phone line engaged. 440-7377. Let's go back to the phone.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning, caller.
Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
We're quite fine. Go right ahead.
Okay. I just want to, just an observation. That photo that was posted from some Calvin Antwine's post, I would like if you could double check the source of that photo, because that is not a true photo. Just being realistic. That photo was taken during the first part of the rally at front that the NDC people had. That was when maybe in the beginning when they just went up there.
Hello, my dear.
Hello.
I'm a photographer and I also know what was done there. Part of the field was used. That is not the early part. That is not the early part. If you look, you'd realize that the lights are on. So you'd realize that it would be after 6, considering the time of year.
But
it's
then
after 6.
They are putting fake pictures then on both sides, fake pictures out.
What they did is they constricted their crowd. So they cut off most of the, you'd realize that there are tents running along the side. So that they pushed all their people into a small area and put the camera on them and try to make it look like it's more than it really is. But no problem with that. We're going to see who votes in the election there.
Because I was wondering, because I mean, I saw motorcade going up and then I saw other pictures of crowd. So then they are trying to make it look, fool people, fool the Grenada population.
Yes, they are. But don't worry, election day come in.
That's true.
12 days.
That's true. That's true. Okay, God is in control. He's in control.
Yes,
and
my
we
dear.
are praying that everything will go smooth and okay.
Yes.
All right.
And you know we love you.
Yes. Okay then. Bye.
Yeah, don't worry them much. Listen, we know how the thing go. They're desperate. We know they had to try a look at something. I mean, oh gosh, things bad. Things bad. So we know they had to try a look at something. So watch. We go show them how the thing does really go on Sunday. We go show them
you don't
how
really
the thing go.
That kind of one-sided thing, and I hate that. We all Grenadians, we have that energy in us.
Yeah, when NNP pull out with troops and we have thing, you just see all kind of thing go. Oh, don't worry about crowd. There's that one jumping up on radio in the morning. Don't worry about crowd. Don't worry about crowd. Don't be think by that. Don't be think by that. Then they come and they have some people. They put them in a space and they come. Boy, you don't see crowd, boy. Excellent, boy, you don't see crowd. But don't worry. Election day come 13 days from now. 13 days from now. Election day coming. We counting it down. Election day is coming. So don't you worry. Yeah. And remember, police officers are voting next Friday. But here, this Friday, we're going green. Yeah? So, I mean, somebody might be in the public service. We ain't want you go and put on no keep moving t-shirt and go to work in here. Might get yourself in trouble. If you're wearing the band on your hand, turn it inside. Yeah? If you're working in the public service, turn it inside. Although, I do believe, according to the Constitution of Grenada, that it contradicts itself when it says to public workers that you have no right of freedom and no freedom of expression and no freedom of association. Yeah? because that is a fundamental right in the Constitution of Grenada. So later on, you cannot take away that fundamental right of persons. So that's how I see it. That's how I view it, that there's a contradiction in the Constitution when it comes to that particular issue. But that's a broader discussion for another time, right? But we're saying we're going green. So there's nothing wrong if you wear a green shirt to work.
That's part of our national flag. You know?
What if you wear a green tie?
Yeah.
It's a national color.
It's a national color.
Yeah, if you have a green band on your hand, you just, if it's an NNP band, you turn it inside, you turn it inside, you could flip it. Right. Green. So nobody can tell you that you're breaking the rules. I mean, it flipping, the displayed part is otherwise, you understand? Yeah, man. So they can't say thing. All right? So we're making sure on Friday, we're going, this is a hard talk initiative. We're making sure you know that. You didn't hear that officially from the New National Party. You heard that from Hard Talk. So Friday is a green day. We're dressing in with green. We going in with green. We are wrong in with green. We liming with the green.
Represent.
We working with the green. Anywhere we going with the green. Yeah, construction workers. Yeah. We know that all of you guys was actually farmers during the last government's reign. You all had to go and do farming and that kind of thing. You understand? Yeah, we understand that. But you all working right now until some fellas saying, your boy, watch. They working in the day and they working in the night.
Right.
Yeah, they ain't getting chance to rest.
And to all them hard hat, man, wear the green hard hats. Friday, it's a green day, the green hard hats.
Watch.
Pull them out.
You see Montu later? Montu does always be a nice meeting. You know? Montu, believe me, the people of Montu, I know you all does come out. Montu, believe me, that meeting gonna be nice later. Yeah, that meeting gonna be really, really, really nice later. All right, 440-7377. Different constituencies. Let us know where your meeting is later. Now I know there's a meeting in Marquee, but I think if it's on the basketball court, that may be a joint meeting. I'm not sure, but it's a Southeast meeting then. It's a Southeast meeting, but I know sometimes Southwest comes across.
More up to Subies.
Yeah, it's more up to Subies side.
Subies, or you go right down to the by the waterfall right at that junction.
Yeah.
The two constituencies meet there again. All right, like that. But Marquee is total Southeast.
Okay, let's take this call, and then there's an issue that we need to clear up. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Morning, my dear.
Hi, Sheldon.
Hi.
You make me pull out my green jersey already. Well, I don't have a jersey, but a green top I pull out.
Yes.
And I'm ready to wait. Talking about the crowd, if you look at the NNP crowd and the NDC crowd, there's a difference. If you look at the NDC crowd, it always has space to it. You could just run to find somebody easy. But when you look at the NNP crowd, we always stick together and we jam together. That is the difference.
All right, but here.
Concentration of people, you know. We show the strength. We ain't got to hide or nothing.
We putting it on.
Green. Yeah.
We ain't afraid. We putting it on.
You can't afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, things are good in this country. I mean, look, we have to continue reminding our citizens where we came from between 2008 and 13, right? Where we were. And so the struggle the economy was at. And from the time February 19th, 2013, Dr. Mitchell and his team took the reins, the Grenada economy began to go forward. The reverse gear, it stick in the last 4.5 years in 2008 to 13, right? He was stuck. You understand? But as soon as Dr. Mitchell come with his team, he's number one. Right now, we second gear. We moving. Ain't no stopping.
We've got a caller on the line.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Morning. Morning. Oh, no, I'm not hearing anything on that one, so I think we lost that caller. Folks, you can call on the overseas line. I think we've solved the problem with the overseas line as well.
It's 347-329-3101.
Yeah.
Give
they
us a call.
They start to jump in again. They come, they feel like a detractors. Distract us. You can't distract us.
Waste your time.
Mr. Detractor, you can't distract us. Anyway, that's as much as you get.
Yeah, that's as much.
Technical man, show that man out. Right, yeah.
What? It is the only time, one of the only time in Grenada when we see the economy and all sorts of activities in our country reverse. It was between 2008 and 2013. Reverse gear. I mean, we saw it for ourselves. Look at the stress the economy was under. I mean, people paying salaries.
Let's try the phone line again.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, how things?
We're quite fine.
Let me ask you a question. If you want to increase your base, what do you do?
If you want to increase your base, you invite people in.
Right. Now, the other side, calling people greedy and hungry. That's how you increase your base. NDC base is over 20,000. NNP base is about 30-something thousand. If you trying to this pull down people, how possible you're going to increase your base? You have to love them and encourage them to switch. But if you discouraging them and making them look small, you're reducing your base instead of increasing. So how you go form the government? You understand what I'm saying there?
Especially considering, like in St. David, they lost by nearly 1,000 votes. South St. George, again, a similar margin. And other constituencies, but instead of inviting people over to the NDC, they've been chasing people away.
They're chasing people away. So when Claudia Joseph, and people who thought should go better and behaving in the same way like the guy on the radio station, you're doing damage to your own self. Don't worry, man. I'm doing a good job. Just keep up the good work going, man.
All right, brother.
Not long again.
Not long again.
13
days.
Take
All
care,
right.
man.
Blessings.
All right, one love.
Yes, 13 days to the 13th.
I'm seeing
so says my calculator.
St. Andrews Northeast. Yes. Senator Kate Lewis. Yeah, she is in Carrier tonight. Right? In Carrier.
So they're free to call and say?
You understand?
Let me hear all your boys.
Tonight. Let us know specifically where in Carrier and the time.
We know all you're listening on Andre.
We know.
We know all you're listening on 91.9. Call and say.
Let us know.
Yeah.
See, because we need to let persons know of these meetings and come out and show their support. Come and listen to the plans, right, that Sister Kate Lewis and others has for their constituency. Right? We have to keep this thing moving. Ain't no reverse gear thing, Well, this is a forward march thing.
That's why we say keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah. Devon, folks, you want to know where you can get the t-shirts? You can check the constituency offices and they have the t-shirts. Yeah, they have t-shirts, they have wristbands. Any of them tell you they don't have, call me, Sheldon, and tell me off air. Call me right after. So let me deal with them. They can't tell all you they don't have. None. I'm saying it on air. None could call all you and say they don't have. Right? But don't try and be greedy and take 3 and 4 and 2 and 6 and thing, right? Nice. All are we taking one?
One apiece.
Right? All are we taking one. And a wristband. Yeah? So we moving like that. Nice? We keep it moving. Nice, right? I mean, if you could get it 2, sometime you could take the 2 because you might either wear one Friday and then one on Sunday. So.
Or you might have a NDC friend that you already start convincing, and that will just give the push,
Remember in them Western and them when a fella do something good, a man used to say, man, I'll give you the shirt off my back. So right now, we'll give you the shirt off my back, and if you want mine, you get it. We giving you. But check the constituency offices for your t-shirts. And you see Chris freezing up there now. Stop sending pictures of snow. I know what ice look like.
We're not interested, Chris. It's a bright and beautiful sunny day in Spice Country.
We know what ice looks like, brother.
13
and we're very
days
sorry
to
for
go.
you guys. There's been this thing that the NDC has been circulating. Remember, Devon said it yesterday, and he couldn't have said it better. And continue to repeat that to you. That we have been warning you several months now to look out for what they're trying now. Now, Nazim Burke, being the failure that he is trying his very best to save himself after the massive defeat that's coming 13 days from now. So he's trying to use any excuse possible. Let us say it again. To any of you in the Grenadian diaspora, any of you that are out there in the Grenadian diaspora, that once your name is on the voters list, you can vote. You are not doing anything illegal. Once your name is on the voters list, you can and have to be allowed to vote. They are trying to scare people away. Meanwhile, I'm hearing of them making moves in Cuba to try and get some students to come back and vote. That is why I hear, so I buy, so I sell. Yeah, so I buy, so I... Well, you're so busy for tape for... Hold on now. Hold on. Tape go come. Tape go come. Yeah, man. Believe me, tape go come.
You have a lot of wound outside there.
Yeah.
So we can provide a tape.
So tape will come. Believe me, I promise you that. Tape will come. All right? Yeah. Maybe not today. Maybe today. Yeah, maybe today. All right, but tape definitely will come. The new ones, will come.
We can give them a challenge.
Yeah.
We're looking for 180. If we get 180 on the live,
yeah,
we're
going with it. Right. But we're telling you this because they have been pushing various stories. So we know that there are many Grenadians who are overseas. They're patriotic. They contribute to Grenada. Some of us forget too soon what happened after Hurricane Ivan. It wasn't only Grenadians here that rebuilt our country, but Grenadians in the Grenadian diaspora. Those of you in Canada who packed the barrels and who went out on the street and had the drive to get, whether it's clothing, to get cash, to get different things, to send back not just for your family, but for everybody here in Grenada. Those of you right next door in Trinidad and Barbados and St. Vincent who are Grenadian and got together and organized to help your country in its time of need. So everybody was happy for you to help at that point in time. Yeah? When it's Christmas time and the barrels come down, everybody is happy with that. But when it comes time to participate legally in the electoral process here in Grenada as a registered voter, the NDC saying that you shouldn't participate. You shouldn't be part of it. Yeah? It's that xenophobic attitude among the NDC, and I keep telling you that the NDC, National Democratic Congress, is a xenophobic party. I am testimony to that. Because you hear the statements that they continually make, you hear the threats that they continually send, what they're going to do to me. They're nothing more than a xenophobic party. That even Grenadians who went outside of Grenada, they're upset with them. I mean, the laws are clear. It says if the person is living constantly out of Grenada for 5 years, in other words, you have not returned to Grenada for 5 years, then and only then can you be removed from the list. Yep. So if you're outside of Grenada over 5 years, and remember, the new registration process started just roughly 6 years ago in 2012 or so. 20 years. That's when the law was passed in early 2012 before the shutdown parliament for the rest of it. That was one of the last things that went through for the electronic voting registration system, And then persons started the registration process either 2012 or 2011, late 2011, somewhere there. Yeah. So it would not be a situation that persons who were registered for the last election are ineligible for this. And if they are, and they're not off the list, that's not the Parliamentary Electoral Office to blame. That is the NDC and their failure to blame. Because if anybody ends up on the list that ought not to be on the list, and the NDC and do the homework to make sure that that person comes out, or the NNP and do the homework, or any political organization did not do their homework and make a claim to the Parliamentary Electoral Office to have such person or persons removed, then those organizations would have failed. You ain't hear the NNP complaining?
Nope.
Yeah? If there are situations or persons that try to shift around, and the NNP, I mean, 51 of them end up in St. George Northeast, that's supposed to be over in St. George Northwest, and supposed to be in the tongue of St. George. I mean, Toby going and put a licking up there.
A serious one.
But they thought now that they could get some people to come out from the town of St. George, run from Claudette, and gone up over there because they know Claudette getting she got tail already. I mean, the girl then, she wished the 13 days had passed already so she could go back and practice law, you know.
I surrender.
Yeah. I surrender all to Jesus. Anyway, yeah, let me leave that alone. Next thing, they check us for copyright, and we can't sing anyway. Right. So, but they run from town. Then you have a next set from Northwest. They know Ali. I mean, Ali Doughton's a good little partner. I mean, I respect the young man. Believe me, I respect him. I like his
courage. I like his courage.
He high belly and he have courage.
Yeah,
and you must respect young people with that sort of drive and determination.
Yeah,
some of the statements he makes, he needs to check himself. But he's a nice young fella generally. I mean, he going and get a serious blow.
Yeah.
And remember, the Prime Minister has said that this might be his last time running. So I know Northwest people, all of you coming out and gave him the biggest victory he ever get in Northwest. So, I mean, sorry, Ali, we know you're going to lose your deposit and so on. But, I mean, too bad. But at the end of the day, some of the people and them that he have over there run and gone in Northeast. So the NNP as a party made its application and did what it had to do to get those people to stay home, go back where they. All right? So any political party that did not do what it is supposed to do in the way that it ought to do it cannot now complain at the point in time when people are going to vote. Nazim Burke is continuing to show his incompetence for leadership.
Serious incompetence. Complain, but no solutions.
No, he complaining because he says there's some plane coming.
Yeah.
So he says plane coming, so he complaining.
He complain.
The NNP know nothing about no chartered flights coming in. The NNP, the New National Party, knows nothing about any chartered flights leaving anywhere coming into Grenada. There are members from the diaspora NNP groups who, of course, it's election time, they would come to Grenada.
Of course.
They would come home. Because we are an organized organization. That's why we are an organization. We are organized. So that be it from the UK or from Canada or from the US or even regionally, you would have the supporters who would come back to ensure that they help in different forms and formats on election day and for election day.
Their children at stake and their future at stake too, you know.
They want the people who are Grenadians in Canada money, but they don't want them to come home and vote.
Yes.
The people who does be here for Spice Mass,
every
the
year.
people who does come for Christmas
every year.
And in Carriacou now, we have a thing where you have this large contingent of people that's come down. JetBlue and thing that's full. People that's come down for All Saints. Because remember, our ancestors in Carriacou are a very big thing for us, for Carriacou people. Remembering our ancestors is a kind of Akana Shanti thing, right? Yeah, Koromante. So, the remembrance of the spirits of your ancestors is a big thing for Carriacou people. As such, you would find in the last week of October, you see loads upon loads upon loads of people of Carriacou and Petit Martinican ancestry returning to Grenada, and then you realize the Osprey heavy going up and you can't find a flight because everybody going up to make sure that they light mommy grave, daddy grave, brothers and sisters, grandmother, grandfather grave. They're making sure that they find the time to find themselves in Carriacou to remember their ancestors and so. Are you going to tell those people that it's okay for them to come back for that, but to participate in the democratic process in their own country, that they ought not to come back? I would have thought that what the NDC would have done is that they would have said to the government of Grenada, let's amend the electoral law and let's try to incorporate where persons overseas can vote from overseas instead of having to look for the time off and so to come home to vote, but that they are Grenadians, they are Grenadian citizens according to the Constitution of Grenada, and that they ought to be allowed to participate in the process. Yeah? If the NDC knows of people that have been out of Grenada, have never returned to Grenada for 5 years and are registered and are on the list right now and did not report such and have those persons removed, then the NDC is to blame. Don't blame the person. The NDC is to blame. It again shows the incompetence of the organization. And if it's a simple thing like that they can't deal with, why should we give them the economy? Why should we hand them the economy when they cannot deal with those simple things? Yeah? You see, the NDC is an organization that's always about exclusion and xenophobia. And I will repeat it again. Exclusion and xenophobia. Xenophobia means that you're against people who are not from where you're from. So that when people come from another country and they're living in your country, you always try to run them out and chase them out and that sort of thing. And the NDC, that's what the NDC is all about. That's what the NDC is all about. So those of you Commonwealth citizens who are registered voters here in Grenada, the NDC don't like you. You were born in Trinidad. You hear what they say to me and what they say about me. They don't like you. Are you going to give them your vote? The Guyanese who are living here in Grenada, who have had children here in Grenada. Boss, as much as all you say tape, all you know I'm going to play it when I'm ready, right? Nice, good. Yeah. Our Guyanese friends who are here in Grenada, who when the NDC won in 2008, they sent immigration officers to check on the status of many of you and to harass many of you. Our friends from St. Lucia or St. Vincent, who are Grenadian, but who have been harassed by the NDC when they were in office and who are already receiving threats now of what they're going to do to you all if they get the opportunity. By God, they will not, but you're receiving the threats now. Yeah? Or friends from Jamaica or whichever Commonwealth territory that are living here in Grenada, or those of you Grenadians who have children that were born outside of the state of Grenada, wherever they were born, and they are here as electors. Yeah, they are here right now as electors. The NDC doesn't like you. They do not care about you. The only thing they care about is trying to frustrate you, and if they get the opportunity to kick you out of the country. But you have the opportunity to kick them out of politics first. So kick them out of politics before they try to kick you out of the country. Yeah? We don't preach hate. We don't preach hate somebody because they're from another place. We say embrace all towards national development. That's what the New National Party says. We don't say victimize a person because their birth certificate is not a Grenada birth certificate. We say embrace that person because they too have a contribution to make towards our national development. We don't come around and say, well, when we win, we're going to send this one home and send this one here and send that one there. Or you have seen somebody who is supportive of the NDC and they are involved in a government program, and when we win, we're going to kick them out. No, we don't say things like that. We don't do things like that. Because when we, the NNP, does programs, we do programs without political bias. That is why someone could have called yesterday and said, seeing Imani trainees going in the NDC rally, and that is a business. If they're going, they're going.
Of course, they are Grenadians.
But they better know that the same Patrick Simmons and them they're listening to is the same Patrick Simmons that said to them that they would not send them home, and we know how that story turned out. We don't have to repeat it every day, but you know how that story turned out.
The record is there.
No young person in Grenada should listen to individuals like Patrick Simmons without an apology from him. He has to apologize to those 2,000 young people and their families and the nation in a whole for lying to the young people of our country. And he can't say he didn't do it. He can't say he went in Carriacou too, you know. Don't feel I don't have the recording at Carriacou, I just never played. But we have the recording at the Carriacou meeting too. When he went up to Carriacou and he talked to the young people and he promised them everything going to be all right. Yeah? But what happened? They sent them home. And then they're saying that the party are youth now. Youth must listen to them.
Yeah, and let's put people first now.
They're talking about putting people first, but the people they want to put first are only their people. They're lying, you know. They say as of March 13th, so all know you're not first in the sites and Nazimburg and the NDC, you're not first. So they say come March 1st, 13th, they're going to put people first. So all know you're not first for them.
No.
You had to put them in office first for them to put you first. And even when they're saying put people first, they mean put their people first. I'll never forget the mother of 8 in La Femme in St. David, who always used to have on she NNP band and go to the different NNP meetings. Under the NDC, when she was given one road work and when she was given it, she was told, eat and drink it well because you have no more to get. This is a woman that had about 3 or 4 children in primary school and about 3 in secondary school at the point in time. And they looked her in the face and tell her, eat and drink it well. Because that's the only one you had to get.
What?
Then you have people like Lingham and them running about St. David, playing like they like people. They don't like people. They don't like people. Yeah. They don't like people. 4407377. Let's see who's gonna call on the phone line. I think I see it blinking just now.
Good.
So let's see. I think we have one there. Let's go to the phone.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning.
Morning,
my friend.
Well, I all want to defend Nazim when he hiding. The people have to hide the buck from getting roast, you know. So when he jump in the corner, we cannot find him, but we'll still seek him. Wherever hole he in, we'll find him.
Boss, I hope all you have all your numbers right and all you're doing the work.
Huh?
I hope the numbers right and you're doing your work up there. You know. Don't tell me we're
what
gonna
do you,
hide
man? A question?
Boss, I want to
I don't wrestling, you know. I don't wrestling, you know.
All right.
I don't wrestling, so.
You can't sit down.
I can't sit down is a joke.
All right.
Sit down is a joke.
Yeah.
I can't even lie down in the night. I can but sit down. Don't worry, man.
All right, my brother.
friend. You know,
4407377
and 347-329-3101. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Sheldon.
Morning.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Hi.
Yes, can I speak to you off the air?
Not during the program. No, my dear. Not during the program.
Okay.
You'll have to call me immediately after the program. Is somebody trying to murder me?
No.
Right. So it's not that important. You could talk after.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a call immediately after the program. Unless it's somebody that was some ISIS bomber was heading my direction.
You know, I always has been trying to compare to my fellow Grenadians as to what has been done to the Grenadian people between 2008, right, by the NDC. Right? It is very important that we not forget where we were only about 6 or 7 years ago. The uncertainty, right, of our people, the young people were uncertain. They had no hope. The workers of this country were reduced to a month of 35 and 36 days. Good morning.
You're still short by about 10 days, boss.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, morning.
Morning, sir.
All right, great. I got a question from the diaspora out here, from a few people. Well, there's an entourage of about, I would say, 30-some people coming home in August. And I was advising them that when they come in to bring their kids' birth certificate to register them, does it necessarily mean that the kids have to be there, or they just have to bring their birth certificate?
To register them, registration is closed at this time.
No, not for voting. I know it's not. I know you're talking about election, but this is registering your kids. You know,
well,
like Grenadians coming home and registering the children as Grenadians.
Oh, they can bring the birth certificate and their birth certificate, and they can get their Grenadian passport.
Right. That's what
yes. They would have to bring their birth certificate from the US here, and the parent would bring their own birth certificate. And they would be able to get them their Grenadian passport itself, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all they need,
but
yeah.
The kids necessarily don't have to be there. That's a question someone asking me.
The form has to be signed. In other words, if they're applying for a passport, if they're applying for a passport for the child, the form has to be signed. It has to be signed by the child. According to the age, it has to be signed by the child.
All right.
So what I would advise them to do is, if they're applying for the passport, go to the consulate website and they can download a passport form there.
The forms.
Yeah, and do it up and bring it down.
All right, go ahead. We talk about that. Call me at the end of the program.
No problem, brother. Watch. What kind of T-shirt is that, man? Watch.
Huh? The eagle landed out.
Hello?
Hello?
Like he's gone. Yeah.
Disappear.
He's gone. 4407377. Yeah, don't be afraid. Let us know where you've got your meetings later. Let us know where you've got your meetings later. Yeah, nice.
Are you ready? Move it. Yes, we move it. Move it. And then we move it. Move it. Yes, we move it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. Old people did say back long time ago, if something and break, don't fix it, leave it so. And up to this day, this I still maintain. This is why I say Nazim never again. Everybody know, about 6 years ago, when this country were, we can go back there no more. Not saying we reach, but we on that path. So let's keep moving with NNP. There is no turning back. Let the truth be told, one just can't ignore. Let's keep moving. Must admit we better off than before. Let's keep moving. We're on the right path, so no turning back. Let's keep moving. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop. Give me the duck now. Moving. Yes, we moving. Moving.
Yeah.
Moving.
So there's one other thing there though, and this one goes out to our good friend in the US, Wade, that just called. Before they go to the passport office though, they need to go to Home Affairs. That's located in the Prime Minister's Ministry. So before they go to the passport office, they must go to the Home Affairs Department so they can get their citizenship certificate or permanent residence certificate issued to them. So they take those documents, the birth certificate of the child who is born of Grenadian parents. They can take that and the parents' birth certificate and they go to the Home Affairs Office of the Prime Minister's Ministry, and then they will issue you the certificate. Once the process is completed, they issue you the certificate and you can go down to the passport office, which is just downstairs. Yeah, so you go down to the passport office downstairs. Also, many persons may not know, but grandparents can also file for their grandchildren. So in other words, the parents are not around, and but the child was born in the United States. The parents may have passed to the great beyond or so on, and they're not available. The grandparents can also file for the grandchildren. Yeah? Nice. 440, and note, because they're going to try to take what we just said and twist it. We're not talking about the electoral registration system, because these people desperate within this next 13 days. So let's make it absolutely clear. We are not speaking about registering for the general elections. That has been closed several weeks now. We are not speaking about that. Yeah, these are Grenadians who were born overseas that would like to obtain their officially, because according to the Constitution, you're already officially Grenadians. Yeah? But you have to go through the process at the Home Affairs Office and get your certificate and all of that. We have a call online.
Good morning and welcome. Hello.
Hi, morning.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Morning.
Well, the meeting will be taking place this afternoon by Big Daddy Sky in Brunswick. Everybody come by the road, the bus will be passing through.
Okay.
Aye.
Great, brother.
All right, so you're good?
Yeah, man, for the time being.
All right, take care. We listen to you all up here.
All right, my brother.
Yeah, so Carriacou and Petit Martinique, yeah, the new National Party Carriacou and Petit Martinique constituency branch, they invite everyone to their public meeting that is tomorrow, Thursday, 1st March at Crab Island in Mount Pleasant from 7 p.m. Addressing you will be NNP's candidate for Carriacou and Petit Martinique, Mrs. Kindra Maturin Stewart, Senator Norland Cox, and other members of the NNP Carriacou and Petit Martinique campaign team. Transportation will be provided. All buses leave at 6:30 to Mount Pleasant. Come out, join, and let's rally around the new National Party. So for tomorrow as well, this evening is by Sky.
Yep.
Right. And tomorrow, they're moving to Crab Island in Mount Pleasant, right? I wonder why they call it Crab Island. You pass and see if there's a lot of crab on the island.
Crab
Yeah.
Island. Wow.
I'm Kindra, you want me to talk now? Send a plane ticket. I'll come up and talk tomorrow and come back down Monday morning. Friday morning. Send a ticket, all right? I'll stay by Uncle Ba. Don't worry about place to stay. I have place to stay in Carriacou. I'll go by Uncle Ba, I'll go by Auntie Sylvie somewhere. I will stay with one of them. All right? Nice, good. Send a ticket. 4407377. Let's go to the overseas line.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, Sheldon, good morning.
Morning. Yes, go right ahead, bro. You're live, go ahead.
Right. So yesterday I was calling, but it seems like it had a problem on the overseas line.
Yeah, we had a problem.
Because I was out on the street. Well, I'm still out on the street today. But anyhow, you addressed what I was calling to talk about, but I want to say it for myself. Now, this is directly to Mr. Nazim Victor Bock and his entourage. Now, I am a Grenadian. I'm registered to vote. I just want them to know that. I don't live in Grenada anymore. I wouldn't be on the 3 planes that I don't know if there are 3 planes coming to Grenada.
Yes. Wait, hold on. Before you go further, there are no planes. There are no chartered flights by the NNP.
Somehow you're kind of breaking up.
Well, go ahead.
I hear he talk about Sunday night about 3 planes that the NNP hire to bring Grenadians down to vote, and we're not supposed to think because we're not living in Grenada. I just want Mr. Buck to know, I am not living in Grenada, but I'm registered to vote, and I'm coming down to vote. And the vote I'm coming down to vote is a vote against the NDC because of the wickedness and the vindictiveness that they did to Grenadian people. I still remember. It's still fresh as it was yesterday. I know they're afraid. And a matter of fact, I hear a young lady called Shaq this morning and say something. Well, she didn't know she wasn't really talking in secret. But anyhow, I am coming down to vote. I won't be on the 3 plane that they expect. The 3 plane that they expect to come down, I won't be on that. I think I might take it, but since Dr. Mitchell announced it. I just want Mr. Nazim Bok and people like Glenn Noel to know Leslie Charles is coming on to vote, and yes, I'm coming on to vote for the NNP. And who don't like it, bite it. If they don't like it, lie down by it. Have a good day.
All right, brother.
Leslie. Let me take the next call.
Good morning.
Hold it on there.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
Hey, Devon and Sheldon, morning. Hello.
We're good.
Sheldon, I want to give you some information for tomorrow evening. In front of Mr. Collins and the shop, Dr. Mitchell will be having a meeting from 6 p.m. in the evening.
Today?
We are asking
what day?
In Chorodi district or the village to listen to the plans that Commission has for the future development of St. George Northwest. Alright, the meeting started. There will be others 7 p.m. There will be other speakers speaking of the development of Greater Carriacou Peter Martinique. I want to say, Sheldon, alright, when you look at the track record and you look at the work that NNP did, there is no comparison. There is no comparison because you could see, as I said earlier on, all government passed, they leave a map of some great project that the greater people remember that party was in government. But what NDC did, about twice they was in government. What great project that did they do so the greater people could remember NDC was in government? None. Right? Look at NNP. You have the stadium, you have the port, the bus terminus. Right? You have the hospital, the new wing, you have road development. You have a lot of things that the NNP could be proud of. And the greater people could be proud of what NNP did. Because when the stadium built, it built for all over Grenada, especially for the youth. Listen to when we go, when the old Queen's Park. So now if they rainfall, people are going to shelter. Alright? I remember a year I was in the stadium watching Intercall, and the old stadium fell along with us. Alright? But no, when you go in the stadium, you don't have to be frightened. You don't have to be frightened because you're sitting comfortable because there are a lot, because stadium built Sheldon. There are a lot of people who like sports. But because of they feel comfortable when they go in the stadium and sit down to watch any game, they go and watch sport. So I want to say NNP is the party of progress, the party that's taking the country forward, and the party that loves people. Alright? I want to say, Brother Sheldon Devon, continue letting the greater people know what is going on in the country and the positiveness that NNP have for the people to develop their lives. And not to NNP is not a party that tear down, not destroy, but a party of unity that unite the people of Grenada. Well, the opposition on the other side, NDC, try to divide. But we have to stay focused and let the Grenada people know what is going on and what is going on. We are not speaking old talk, but we are speaking issue, talking about issue to develop the people of Grenada life. And Brother Sheldon, I would say, God bless you all. You all have a wonderful day. Continue spreading the good news.
All right. Thank you very much. Friend. Hello. Oh, boy. Yeah, I just wanted to confirm. Hello. I just wanted to confirm the meeting in front of Colin Sandy's shop. Whether it's today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So give us a call back and confirm for us whether it's today or tomorrow that meeting is taking place. We have a caller.
Good morning. Hello.
Morning.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Yeah, quite fine.
Mr. Scott.
Yes, sir.
After this election, I want to give Mr. Nazim Bok a special work, but where they have to give him that work is in the quarry and the gravel. Secure the gravel on them. That you only smoke off and he could do right now. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, Devon, I realize where your problem was, so I fix it.
Okay.
He fix
I think you're getting a better response.
You're getting a better response there?
What?
Yeah.
One of the things that we must continue to be aware of, over the last couple of months, the NDC organization has been unleashing a psychological warfare on the people of Grenada. Divide and rule tactics, right? Frustration, confusion, distortion, right? They will bring all sorts of fake news to take your minds away from what is so important, right? That is going on in Grenada. We must not allow them to do that. We must remember how deadly and devastating they were during the 2008 and 13 reign while they was in office. Remember what they did to their fellow NDCites, to fellow Grenadians? Do we ever want to forget that? They victimized hundreds of persons. They fired them from their job, right? They malign them. They call them all sorts of names. Their own fellow Grenadians. Do we ever want to forget a leadership who was bent on destroying his own people? That is what you get in NDC. The leadership of that organization is not good for this country. And I say that with no apology. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, I'm telling you, Papa, I tell you, this program hot more than gas right now. Jet fluid. Now, let me start off here by saying, gentlemen, good evening, good morning to you all, and good morning to your listening audience.
Good morning, friend.
Now, Mr. Scott, the people of St. John's right now, they are very much disappointed in the fact that the NDC candidate up there, brother and sister, is calling them all hours of the night, all different time to ask them to support the gentleman. And they're thinking that it's some important phone call, so they're leaving what they're doing, and when they go, that is what they are faced with. So they are calling on Mr. Vincent to to tell his folks to desist from this kind of behavior. Now, Mr. Scott, you there?
Yes, we're here.
Yeah, you mentioned the other islands, the Bajans, the St. Lucians, the Dominicans. What you forget too is that the NDC also decide to go after the Indians. And they decide to go after the Chinese. Because what they are saying is that they favor the Taiwanese more than the Chinese. So once they get in, if they was to get in, they say that they will definitely break diplomatic ties with China in favor of Taiwan. So these are all the things we need to know. Now, Mr. Scott, gentlemen, listen to this. There is a gentleman by the name of Les Brown. He speaks for his supper. We have Mr. Marshall Montano and another gentleman by the name of Jay-Z. They sing for the supper and they are quite successful. So, if I am singing for my supper, I want them to know that my favorite cuisine is Indian. So, if I could sing and get some garlic naan, some lamb masala, some keema mata, some aloo kucha, and some chicken rogan gosh, why shouldn't I be singing? I have no problem singing. Now, Mr. Scott, Mr. Scott, listen, if this black man from the Northwest constituency in St. Andrews decide that he can sing for his supper, what's wrong with that? No, I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to go back to a country where it pays 70 cents on every dollar towards its national debt. I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to go back to an economy in reverse. I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to be living in a country where its creditworthiness is negative. I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to go back to a country where its government runs the country with an $18 million a month deficit. I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to go back to a government that promised the youth trainees in this country they would not send them home, and then they turn and they send over 3,000 of them home. If I'm singing for my supper because I don't want to go back to a country where the government locks its parliament down for over 6 months. So, Mr. Scott, if I'm singing for my supper based on all what I have just pointed out there, I am quite comfortable within myself in terms of singing for my supper. Last night, we had a very successful meeting in Monlong, and tonight, we will be going to Carrier to show our support for Sister Kate Lewis, and tomorrow evening at 7 p.m., we will be in Saab in St. Andrews. So I'm asking all the brothers and sisters to come out and show their support for Sister Kate Lewis, Sister Delma Thomas, Sister Yolande Bain Hosford, and Sister Emmeline Pierre. Mr. Scott, to you and your listening audience and Devon, have a pleasant day.
All right, thank you.
Wonderful day, my brother.
All right, folks. 4407377. Devon, a lot of people forget, and I know you would know better than me, and you'll always know better than me when it comes to these things. Let's just take this call quickly, and then we'll come to that one.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Devon and Sheldon.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, the meeting is tomorrow evening.
Tomorrow evening at 7.
Yeah, tomorrow evening at 7.
Okay.
Colin Sandy Show.
Okay, great. Thank you so very much.
Huh?
I said thank you so very much.
Okay, thank you. No
All
problem.
right. Yes, so tomorrow is the meeting for St. George Northwest at Colin Sandy's shop. Remember, in Guave, they're in Central, in Guave this evening. Also in Rose Hill Junction this evening. That's in Patrick East and West. They have a joint meeting. We're also looking at Marquee on the basketball court. Tomorrow, there's a joint meeting between Southeast and Southeast and Southwest. St. Andrew Southeast and Southwest, close to Walker Shop in Sobeys, right? Okay, I think we have another call online. Let's go to
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Morning.
Good morning, Brother Sheldon. Good morning, Brother Devon.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, they talk about putting people first and they need a chance. Well, they need a chance. Dr. Michelin give them the job, so they need a chance to take a 6-month advance salary again. They need a chance to show the young people out. They need a chance to take all them senior people name on the list and get in pension. What they need chance to do is 13 days, 13 more days to March 13. And they will get a chance. They will get a chance to go home and sit down forever. That's the end of it. That's the end of it. And if they love people so much, them men putting the pot on the fire for St. George's Northwest. Of all places, them guys feel, well, they have that in the bag. I hear them in boasting. They men bragging and they boasting. We have that one in the bag. Which bag? The school bag that came to the one? Boy, this guy going to get one political trashing in his career. You don't even want to see politics again.
All right, my brother.
All right, my brother. One love. All right, take care.
Yeah, let me just say a good morning to all my friends up there in Northwest. Hey, yeah. Indian and the guys up there in Cherry Hill, we're saying a special glorious Grenadian good morning to each and every one of you. Yeah, hope you all having a wonderful day. Oi,
you was asking me something.
You know, we don't say hello to our friends in Harveyville, eh? All the friends we make in Harveyville and Bel Air and Belmont and thing. Morning to all of you. Next thing, I'll have vex with us and thing. Morning, eh?
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, all the listeners in Carriacou and Petit Martinique.
All of you.
Yeah,
all.
Yeah.
You know.
I was asking you because, and I want to take a couple minutes on this one. Huh? There are many people who were members of the NDC who fought for the victory of the NDC in 2008. There were people who were out campaigning there were the workers out in the field who, according to the song by Scholar, they yellow up the whole junction. These were the people that fought tooth and nail, hard as hell, for the victory of the NDC in 2008. And these were the people that were treated the worst by the NDC during the period 2008 to 2013. They were treated, in fact, 2018, because they're still getting treated bad. So I was correct, 2018. And the infighting, and I don't even want to call it infighting, because it's infighting if you have one side launching attacks and the other side launching attacks. But it was more like a one-sided conflict, in that you had a group of individuals within the party that decided they're ejecting other members.
Abuse of power.
So you had them going and boast, for instance, that, oh, we got rid of Scott Bartholomew. Scott Bartholomew, a man that fight for the NDC in 2008 and before. And they came and they boasted that they get rid of people like Scott Bartholomew and Messi and so on and the others who were there. What have you been hearing from the people who are still feeling that hurt from what the NDC did to them? How they destroyed the dreams and aspirations of these individuals. And we're speaking here about the youth that decided that they were following the NDC back in 2008 and who were promised by them that, don't worry, everything is going to be all right. And then everything was all right, but not for the youth, because apparently they were speaking about themselves, just themselves. And even if they gave an opportunity to somebody like you, Devon, that because they found you're too close to Pedro, and they wanted to punish Pedro and the people of the town of St. George, and they wanted to punish Glennis and the people of South St. George, and they wanted to punish Church and the people of St. John, and they wanted to punish Brother Carl Hood and the people in St. George Southeast, and they wanted to punish Joe Gilbert and the people are there. And on top of that, remember, they were already punishing the people of St. George Northwest, St. Mark, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and St. Andrew Northeast. So in other words, it's like they were trying to punish the most of Grenada. You're trying to punish most of Grenada. You've been interacting with these people. These people who are still feeling that hurt. Their stomach was upset. Up to 2013, some of them didn't even go and vote because their stomach was so upset. And some of them stomach still upset. Every time they think about what took place in the NDC, their stomach upset. What do you have to say? What for some of the people that you've been talking to who on that line, maybe they might not put on a green t-shirt and come out to an NNP rally. They definitely ain't going around an NDC rally. What have they been telling you?
Well, it's a whole question of trust, right? Can we trust the present leadership of NDC? Knowing what the NDC base went through, right? Around 2011, 2012, and 2013, right? The deception, right? That's some of the leaders that are there presently now, right? From Venus and Buck come down, Glenn Noel, and all these guys, right? Vincent Roberts. The question of trust. People, or most of the NDC base, they are not trusting the words of these guys because they have deceived them. They have created chaos and conflict. They may be still NDC, right? So because they like NDC, they may not want to come and join NNP, but they are not ready to accept that sort of betrayal and so on, and come to terms in putting NDC there again to run this country, right? Because they are afraid. Look at, for example, the amount of persons who are expelled from the party because they share their views. Look at how many persons were victimized, were dismissed summarily from their jobs without any notice, right? Because they had differences, right, with the leadership, with Mr. Tillman Thomas and Nazim Burke and these guys, right? Look at what was done to them and their families. And you're talking about hundreds of people, right? I mean, talking to persons that I know, they love NDC as a party. They love some of the core values of NDC, but they cannot stomach the present leadership because of the deceitfulness, right? The deceiving nature in which they attain power, right? They cannot and they will not take that chance, right, to put V. Nazim Bok in office, right, because of what was done. So, I mean, when they look at it, they are in a I mean, talking to a lot of, I mean, friends that I know in the NDC. And they tell me straight, they want to look, man, you know I wouldn't join NNP, right? And if I have to vote, I will vote for Peter. I will vote for Tony Boson, right? They are prepared to give an individual vote to the persons that they feel comfortable and have confidence in the last 4.5 years, because they have been watching. If we can come out from that situation where, I mean, that leadership of NDC, they basically shut down the parliamentary curfew, right? That is what they do. I mean, persons are of the opinion right now that, look, man, at this point in time, we got to keep moving. We got to give support to those who have the benefit, who have the interest to benefit, I mean, Grenada.
So,
NNP.
what do we say to all of the maybe still card carrying members, even though not active, members of the NDC that last election did not leave home and vote because they could not have voted for what the organization that they knew had become? Because we all know that what we call the National Democratic Congress right now is not the party of Brizan and Braffett. It's not the party of them. It's a totally different organization. Yeah? And we're going to play for you in a little while, because we haven't played it for a while. We're going to play for you in a little while why it's a totally different organization. But that this is not the organization that they knew, that they loved, that they supported, and that they got into office in 2008. Devon Romain, what do we say to those people? Because they're hurting, you know. They're really hurting. They're hurting, and they're saying it to the NDC members when they go out there trying to canvass them.
Because you see, these are persons who are country oriented. They are patriotic persons. They want to contribute to the development of this country, right? Most of them are caught in the middle right now. But I say to them, I say to all of you out there that, look, Grenada is progressing. Grenada is moving. We are not stuck in a reverse gear, right? We have moved off. We must continue moving. I know you want to participate in the forward movement of our country. And so, come out on March 13th. Come out and vote for progress. Vote for your children's future. Don't stay home and not vote because you might be still angry with NDC or you are not NNP. Come out and vote for continued progress. Come out and vote NNP. Come out and vote a team that will, you know, in the next 5 and 10 years will continue to bring development for our country. Don't be ashamed. Your vote is very important. Your vote is what counts, because the development of our country depends on all of us. Don't stay behind. Get involved.
And folks on the phone line, I'm seeing the phone line, both phone lines, I'm seeing the overseas and the local line going off. We'll come to you in a short while. We're not ignoring you, but I'm just having a conversation here with Devon in relation to this issue. And the reason I am is because it's been coming up more and more and more that you have many of these people who were supportive of the NDC, who are hurting. They are hurting. And the only party that seems to be reaching out to them is the New National Party.
Of course.
You have people in the NDC seeing them and calling them traitors, simply because they're not coming out to activities, they're not partaking activities and so on. But these people were hurt.
Very much.
These people, these former supporters, maybe still card carrying members, maybe they still have a t-shirt in their house, but they have been hurt. They've been treated in the worst way. You know what it is when you work hard to bring a government into power, and after you bring it into power, a bunch of people just step out from the background and say, look what we do. We were able to do that. That's what these people went through, you know. Yeah. All the people who were working for 8,000 and plus, like for instance, the Riggs and them, who was working for the 8,009. Ask people on the ground if they ever used to see him.
No, they were just...
As people in St. Andrew, in De Blando, or go in Paraclete, or you go in Paradise Junction and ask them if they ever used to see people like Chris Dirks coming and campaign and walk around them before 2008. But who got the big jobs at the end of the day?
Look at those who are hiding in the back.
Franca Alexis Bernardine. Was she on any platform for the NDC?
Aaron
Did she walk house to house?
All these guys and them.
Look at the names. And these people, none of them was working for under $7,000 a month. The names that we're calling here. None of them. They were not the ones who did like Kenrick Fullerton would have done in St. Andrews Southeast. And even though he was not the candidate, he went house to house and he went on the blocks and so on and interacted with people. These are the individuals who just feel they're too good to go down to the ground and talk to people. And were waiting in the wings for the NDC to get into power, and then they came and they get the big jobs. And while others who struggled, like Devon, like Scott, and others who struggled, these people, they get a little something and then they cut them off and send them home because they would not toe that extremist line that they were going. They would not toe that line, and they find, oh, they're too supportive of Pedro. So they got rid of these people. Meanwhile, these guys that never did any work stay in the background. These elitist elements stayed in the background.
Watch, yeah? These guys, and I'll put in some very harsh words, they summarily execute politically hundreds of NDC supporters during that period. They basically pinpoint. It was what you call an ethnic cleansing by these guys, especially around 2012. They picked out persons who they felt were close to Peter David or sympathetic to Joe Gilbert or Church or Hood, and they sieved them out from the organization, right? Despicable. That is what they did to their own Grenadian people, right? You must never forget what these guys are capable of doing. Never forget that. They put people on the breadline. They made persons had to basically wonder where the next money coming to pay their mortgage, to take care of their children and send them to school, right? While they sit and laugh and call persons traitors and hypocrites and mercenaries, their own Grenadian people. Can't we ever forget that? No. I tell you, you must not forget it. You must never forget that sort of treatment of victimization by Nazim Bok and a group of persons who wanted power, right? Their sole objective was to take power. Now you got power, the people of Grenada will tell them, will show them on March 13 that that power they have in that organization will never give them an opportunity to run Grenada again.
But the thing is, what we also say to those people who are so hurt by the NDC is that you have an opportunity to help and save the NDC.
Yep.
The only way for the NDC to rid themselves of the present leadership is by you voting for the House on election day. Don't sit down at home and decide you're so hurt that you won't be a part of the process.
Get up.
You have a patriotic responsibility to Grenada first and to save your party as well. And the only way for you to save your party is by voting for the new National Party. Because that way, on March the 14th, with your shovel in hand, you can assist in the political burial of the present leadership of the NDC. Take them out of politics forever in Grenada. And then you will be able at the same time to get new worthy people to lead your organization, people you can trust. Not people that will come and say, well, okay, all our we is comrade. And then when the time come, some are we is comrade and some are we is comrade.
In the back. Yeah. No, you must.
Some of we does end up comrade and some does end up comrade.
We must never forget that sort of psychological
no comrade
suffering.
In these times.
You see, it was a psychological way of destroying people, right? When you humiliate people in public, when you have the power and you could humiliate people, you could tell them what they want, you could decide whether or not they get a job or not. That is the worst type of victimization you could ever put on persons and your own Grenadian, your fellow brothers. That's what you did. That's what Nazim Burke and Glenn Noel and Vincent Roberts and the clique of them did during NDC reign. They destroyed families. And I'm very passionate about that. They destroyed families who saw a hope in helping develop Grenada. They cast away their dreams. And now they want to come back and ask people for support to be there? No, you can't do that. Grenada is too important, right? And right now, we're on the move. You can't turn back.
And the thing is, when you look at the NDC, the construct now, it's the same people who instigated, created, and fomented the confusion.
Yep.
And believe me, it's already started again. They put on a brave face, and they come out and they're trying very, very nice to look united and friendly with each other. But you and I both know that that is just a facade. That's just a face that organization has put on. And at this point in time, we need to say goodbye to our listeners on 91.9, 91.5, Real FM. We know that you all have got to go right now. They're going over to the news on Real 91.9, Real 91.5. So we'd like to thank all of the listeners that have been joined to us via Real FM this morning. The conversation continues via the various radio stations and online on Hard Talk Grenada. All right. Yeah. These people need to understand that they can save their party.
Oh, yeah.
You can save your party. But to save your party, you have to save your country first. And your party at the same time. Because when a certain man loses, I don't have to say a certain man, no. When Victor Nazimberg loses in St. George Northeast, as he is going to do, when he loses in St. George Northeast, the NDC will have the opportunity to replace their leader. And when the others, because you all don't like persuaded NDC people in St. David, I'm not saying this just like that, people who formerly supported NDC, or who even still support NDC, say to me directly, because I'm friends with everybody, they don't like him. They just don't like him. But brothers and sisters, you have the opportunity to change him and get somebody who is more suitable and competent to represent you there.
And is more acceptable to the Grenadian people.
But in order to do that, you must vote the new National Party on election day. You have to vote for the House on election day. The only way to save the NDC, you're going to the different activities and you know the reality. You know the reality. The failure of the various activities at the NDC. That you're trying to have a public meeting and sometimes you can't even get 5 people from the area out. That they have to bring a bus and circle the constituency and sometimes take from a next constituency.
That tells a story.
To bring and try and make the thing look even kind of possible. So you could snap a 2 picture with people back turn and say, look at crowd. When you know that is not the situation, you are there, you seeing it for yourself. So you know the reality of the situation within your own organization. But you have the opportunity to fix that 13 days from now.
Yeah, 13 days from now.
You have the opportunity to fix that.
And you know, and to our young people, right? To our young people, just remember part of your history. You understood what went on in 2008, 2009 with over 2,000 young people. The uncertainty, right? The sending home. Do you, the young people, want to return persons in leadership that will create uncertainty for you, for your future? Or do you want to continue the good thing that is going on right now, right? The affordability of persons to go and study, right? And to get access to different universities and so. Do you want to roll that back? No. It is something that you must seriously consider. Your future depends on it. You don't want a government to come into office and there's uncertainty over your head. No, we will not allow that.
Because, for instance, you look at within the NDC camp now, and it's obvious. We're not just saying it. You check the facts for yourself. From last year to now, they have only been promoting one candidate. They have 15 candidates, you know, but they've only been promoting one candidate. And then certain people do not get press opportunities. So you hardly ever hear the candidate that they have for St. David on Beat to the Point or one of their other programs. They try their very best. I don't know if they're afraid that he would say something that is against what they believe, if they don't trust him, if they think that he'll be building his profile so much that he might end up leader of the organization, but they're afraid. So you have not seen an ad coming out with him. You haven't seen a promotion from the NDC in relation to that individual. You say you're going to beat Dr. Mitchell, but where is the promo for Lil Ali Dowden? Where is the promo for the young man? Where is his promo? Where is his video saying, I'm Ali Dowden and so on and so on? Why are you treating him in that way? In other words, if you didn't want to have a candidate in that constituency, you could have simply said that we're not going to run in that constituency. The NDC has done it before. Even the NNP, I think, may have done it. No, I don't think the NNP ever didn't have a candidate in a constituency. But parties have done it before where they ran elections and did not have a candidate to represent a constituency. But look at it. Sister Franca Bernardine. We know she did challenge for the leadership of the organization. We know that. We do know that she is well respected within the ranks of the NDC. I don't think anybody hates her except for that small cabal that circles. And Devon, tell me if I'm going wrong at any point, you know. That small cabal that circles Mr. Burke. That's the only people that really don't like Franca. But within the organization and the leadership of the organization, they have tried their best to downplay the woman. They have tried that. They don't want her to emerge as a leader, and that's why. They know she would have get licks in town, but the senator get worse licks up in St. George Southeast, because they have decided that they, with the assistance of Gregory Bowen, will end her political career. As I said last night at a meeting, when you look at the cruise port, it was done by Gregory Bowen. As the Minister of Works at the point in time, he had insight into that. The road projects from one end of Grenada to the other, the ministerial complex, other major projects in Grenada, Gregory Bowen gets the job done. And that's why he's going to get the job done of Dunning. Make sure he done the political career of Franca Alexis Bernardine 13 days from now. NDC knows that. That's why they send her there.
They send her right there to destroy her.
So anybody they perceive as a threat to leadership, they make sure and they downplay that person and they push that person under. And we've been seeing it. It has been manifesting itself. It has been manifesting itself. And it is becoming a serious problem for the it's already a problem for the organization. But you, the members of the organization, must recognize what's taking place.
And to add to their desperation, right, and their thirst for power, over the last couple of months, they have been training their personnel, right, on strategies how to disrupt and to sabotage the Grenada election on March 13th. Yeah, we have heard them. We have heard them in the different meetings, and so the strategies, the encouragement of certain persons to break the law of this country in order to get power. That is how far they prepared to go, right? But as a people, we must understand that. We must know what they are doing and beat them at their own game. We have to expose them.
So play this, slow it down. Yeah, let's play
it down.
Also know, correct me if I'm wrong, sir, that the law allows the candidate to come in and take your place at any time, and those can be as frequently or infrequently as he likes, and he can come there and take his notes. That may happen as well. Okay. What I'm not clear about is the idea of replacements legally.
I think I've been playing the wrong one. Yeah, I've been playing the wrong one there. So let me get the right one. Let me see. In fact, here's what we could do. We won't play Glenn. Yeah, let's play Glenn.
I don't know if you're alone, because I think the point you make is an extremely important point. Now, what I discover about us over the years as NBC, often the problem is not lack of information or knowledge or what has to be done, but the act. We don't have a few tricks of our own, and we're not able to detect if the enemy is playing fall with us. So the point Victor made about learning to slow down in a polling division of box where the enemy is winning. In other words, he called for an Indo-Asian who just doesn't understand just the pure law and everything, but somebody who is empowered and feels strong enough that they understand what's going on and they could come up with something of their own and say, but we can't allow that to happen. So nobody can prevent you from questioning a name and slowing down the process. Is that proper? It is.
Scampishness is not always a bad thing.
But it comes to
Scampishness was behind some of the greatest slave revolts of this hemisphere. Like, and scampishness is basically the Caribbean version of cunning, right? And white people in parliaments all around the world prize their most cunning people. Why? Because they win. So let's not pretend that Keith Mitchell is not cunning. Keith Mitchell is one of the most cunning politicians in the Caribbean. And not only is he a cunning politician, and if you don't respect your opponents, you can't beat them. But not only is he a cunning politician, he's a pit bull. Right? And you cannot, unless you're a Great Dane, you can't sit quietly around a pit bull. You need to be a sort of pit bullish yourself. Or at least have surrogates who can come across as pit bulls. If not, a Rottweiler every now and then. But you need to have people and women are the best people usually to do inside the job. Because they can talk to other women a certain way, they can talk to the toughest guy on the street a certain way, they can talk to the doctor a certain way. They're the best. But if they are not willing to be scampish when necessary in the polling booth when they see things aren't going right, don't put them in there. Don't send them someplace else, right? We're going to have to be very careful with who goes in and the temperament of those people. And whether or not they need to be able to be very professional when necessary, but very ghetto and very ratchet when necessary.
So, I mean,
there you have it.
You have it directly. You have it directly from the mouths of the NDC and their advisors.
And you know, I've been saying for the last couple of months, anytime there is a silence, I've been saying that the silence of this gentleman speaks trouble, not just for their organization, but for the Grenadian people. Now listen to some of the things that he is encouraging people to do, right? The mischief to disturb and to disrupt the election, that is what they are about. See, desperation causes you to do desperate things. Just expose yourself, right? And I've been warning the Grenadian people about persons like Glenn Noel, who is capable of coming out there with some psychological warfare and so to distort, right, and to mislead people. We must be very aware of the kind of propaganda that these guys are capable of doing and the mischief that they can create in our country. Do not forget that. And I really am pounding on this issue because I know the capability of these gentlemen. They are not about Grenada. They are about themselves. The future of our country depends on what you do. Make no mistake about that.
Yes. And those of you on the live, we know that you're getting the audio, but the video is frozen, so we're working on that particular issue right now. Just making sure everything fix up nice. And, you know, Dan, in fact, it should be back by now. Let me just make sure everything right there again. Ting, 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 ting. Let me see. Yeah, man, we back live and looking good there again. All right, nice. All right, NNPites, nice.
NNPites. It's a green Friday, hard talk style. Green Friday, this Friday coming.
Hey, and remember on Sunday, all roads lead to Tantine. Yeah, might have a nice special surprise for you all there as well. So yeah, just saying we are a nice special surprise for you all in Tantine. I ain't talking much. All right, I'm not talking much, but we have a nice surprise for you all in Tantine on Sunday. So all roads lead to the Tantine playing field. Yeah, and we ain't not cut the playing field in
half or
sections.
We go full it up.
Yeah, once we protect the outer field area, we'll do a nice little thing down there. Eh? Nice? Okay, Popo? We'll do a nice little area.
NNP people, we know it's 2 more big rallies to the election, right? We know what we need to do. We know what we have to do. We have to support every single candidate, 15 of them, because none of them is going to give up their seats. None of them, right, is about to be outside. They have been doing their best. They have been meeting the needs of the Grenadian people, and the Grenadian people will show their appreciation come March 13th. Let them continue what they are doing.
Yes, indeed. Folks, we're going to open the phone lines again for the next few minutes. 440-7377 and the overseas number
347-329-3101.
Because we know many of you have been trying to call, but we just wanted to have that conversation, yeah? Just wanted to have that conversation today. I think it's important that we let those people who are hurting know that the house has room. And even if you don't want to come in the house, you want to sit down on the step outside and talk with us, we're willing to listen.
Of course.
Yeah? Even if you want to stay in the road and watch the house and admire the house and still have that conversation with us, we'll come and stand up in the road with you and have that talk.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll come there and meet you.
At the side of the road, if you stand up in the road, you might get bunks and all kind of thing. You know, kind of man, every 2 minutes I see the car boat reaching and all kind of thing. So
you know,
we can't, it's not like days gone by when we could have played cricket in the road and thing. Or when you pass by a school, the whole parking lot empty because teachers couldn't afford car. Right now, the cleaners in the school affording car and all kind of thing too. So you have to be careful. We'll stand up on the side of the road and talk.
Look at our young people. I have never seen, right? I have never seen in a long time the jubilation of our young people, the excitement, right? Young people finishing college and going out there and starting their own business. You have seen an increase in that in the last 5 years. Look at it out there. Young business, young entrepreneurs, men as well as women in their 20s got an opportunity from this government to start their own business and to provide employment for others. Now, that's the way to go. Can we turn back now? I don't think so.
Yes, indeed. And I think we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Sheldon and Devon.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm calling to ask Mr. Bob to forget policemen could not get you to put on in the foot when he was in power. Thank you very much.
All right, my dear.
Thank you, my dear.
And you know, there's an audio in relation to that I must play. I've been searching for it. I know it exists. I've been searching for it. Just haven't found it yet. Oops.
Good morning.
That person hung up. Yeah, 440-7377. It's time to call.
347-329-3101.
A good cousin of mine tell me to make sure and tell Devon good morning. So my cousin says good morning. Not the one in Carriacou. One of them in Grenada here. This cousin down here says good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, Miss Levine.
She
says to make sure and tell you good morning. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Yes, good morning, my friend.
Yes. I'm neither a supporter of a party, but I'm a Grenadian and I love my country. So what I would like to know, and something I've observed, I've been around a long time, the marriage now with Chester Humphrey, Peter David, that's a marriage of convenience. And eventually, it go backfire in some years to come. And we, the Grenadian people, go suffer for it.
Okay. I'm still waiting on your question, though.
Hello? I think it has been stated over and over. I don't know how many different ways that both Chester Humphrey and Peter David can explain it.
Yeah, and they have been.
It's no marriage of convenience. It's a marriage to move Grenada forward. Because unlike other people, they can see past their differences and see the things that unite them. So Dr. Mitchell may have had and may still have his differences of opinion with Peter David.
Of course.
He may have had and may still have his differences of opinion with Chester Humphrey. But that does not mean that he cannot work with them to move Grenada forward. You see, that's the difference between the New National Party and the NDC.
Tolerance.
In the NDC, when you have a difference of opinion, you are kicked out.
Yes, you are humiliated.
That's the difference.
You are destroyed. You are victimized.
You are kicked out when you have a difference of opinion. you are kicked out. In the NNP, you can look past your differences and look towards what unites you. Because we understand, and that's why we speak of Project Grenada. Because we understand that in order for Grenada to move forward, the new National Party can't do it alone. And Dr. Mitchell said so on February 19th, 2013, when he called on Madonna Harford, Chester Humphrey, and others to join with him in moving Grenada forward. And look at the benefits that we are seeing for the Grenadian people because of that call that he made 5 years ago. That call that he made, we are seeing the benefits right now.
Definitely.
We're seeing the benefits. Because you're seeing what is taking place with the economy. If the trade union movement were to take the approach of, oh, it's NNP in power and let's just disrupt the country and mash up everything. If they were to take that approach, even after receiving nearly 100 times more payments than they received under the NDC, even after negotiating into the future, which is unheard of in local context with negotiations with government, that you already secured your different payments and so for 2019. Usually you had to be negotiating back to try and get, but they negotiated and got the one in the back and got in the front as well. If the trade unions had taken a different approach just to disrupt and so on, they wouldn't have gone to the table and signed this week for the memorandum of understanding and so in relation to things like the pension, because that has been signed. Our sister Rachel Roberts signed this week, Monday I believe it was.
Monday.
She signed on behalf of the Public Workers Union.
So all is on board.
So there's an understanding. So those people who had been suffering, instead of people playing politics, as the NDC would like to do, telling them don't sign, don't do this, don't do that. You heard them. They were telling them don't sign. Yeah? So instead of playing politics with the livelihoods of people, the new National Party, together with the trade unions, and when I say new National Party, I mean the new National Party government, not the new National Party as a party, but the government of the new National Party, led by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, with our goodly Labour Minister, Oliver Joseph, and his name will be down in history as the Labour Minister who was there when pensions were restored in the proper format to public workers.
You know, one of the things that they're so mad about, right, Chester Humphrey and Peter David being part, right, of the NNP organization. They know, right, with Dr. Mitchell political savviness, his experience, his know-how, together with the experience of Chester Humphrey in the labor movement, right, and Peter David with other political experience and his level of love and organization, they know that team cannot be beaten. They are mad because Dr. Mitchell saw a way to make this thing work for all Grenadians, not just for persons who support NNP, no, for Grenadians, because he said it. NNP, we cannot do it alone. We need all on board. We need the Grenadian people on board. We need Madonna Harford. We need Chester Humphrey. We need Peter David. We need the entire nation.
I stood there and I listened to Dr. Mitchell. No script in front of him, just speaking from the heart. Emotional. The only thing I didn't see was tears run down, and I ain't sure he didn't cry. But the only thing I didn't see were the tears run down his eyes, his face. But he spoke from the heart, under inspiration. And what he said there, at that time and moment in Grenadian history, will always be remembered. Will always be remembered. To the thousands of us that were there at the Tantine playing field, and to those who were listening at home via different medium and so on, and who saw it afterwards, it will always be remembered. Because it was the nexus, it was the point at which the politics of Grenada changed. Why is it that politics has to be about I hate you and you hate me? Why does it have to be about I cuss you and you cuss me? We can argue ideas, and sometimes we can do so forcefully. But why does it have to be that I must hate you because you're in that party, and you must hate me because I'm in this party. That's not the philosophy of the New National Party. We don't preach hate over here. We don't preach hate a person because they're from somewhere else. We don't preach hate a person because they're supportive of another party. We don't tell our supporters put the children out of the house. We don't do those sort of things. In our party, we preach love.
And you know,
in fact, better we symbol was our symbol, because we the ones that have it.
One of the things that we can see, we talk about the unity among our people. Look at what the unity among our people has brought us the last 5 years. To the workers of our country, look at the benefits that you receive when you sit down with the government and negotiating, right? Look at the benefit. Look at our teachers. Look at our young people, right? Look at the state of our health services and our housing sector. When you unite a people, you can only grow stronger and improve. That is what happened after the 19th of February 2013. A movement of Grenadian people came together to move this country forward, and there is no turning back. Sorry for those who are behind. You have time to catch up. We are all Grenadians. Get on board. Vote NNP. Vote for stability. Vote for your security.
And the thing is, when you look at the NDC right now, you can't say that it's a stable party.
No.
You cannot say it's a stable party when you have members making statements like, let's hear Persuader. Let's hear Persuader and see if he persuades us.
Boy, I concede Nas constituent. This is a man that argue with me every time we see each other. Boy, I love the party, but I can't take Nas. And I ain't voting for NDC, I just not voting.
Now, that's Persuader. And the problem is, he's been meeting people that's saying, we can't stand your leader. That's what he said. You're hearing his voice, not Sheldon saying it. You're hearing his voice. They can't stand his political leader. And then you hear Joseph Andal. Yeah?
Oh, NDC is a good party. Miss Anne is a nice lady. Andal is a good boy. But Nazim. Ask them one question. Tell me what Nazim has done wrong.
Put VAT on coffins. Put VAT on coffins.
Victimization.
But that's not the only time the deputy political leader make that statement. He just made that statement last week or when too.
Yeah. So she said you're sounding good, mister. But I do like Nazim. So I said to her, are you married? She said, no, but I'm living with my boyfriend. And I said to her, well, Nazim is living with his beautiful wife, so you don't have to like him.
That's the deputy political leader of the NDC. He's having a problem. If you're in an organization and every time you go out, the negative, after all your hard work, the negative is, we don't like your leader, you can't blame us for that.
They are wary. Yeah. They are wary defending their own political leader.
Patrick Simmons said the same thing.
Are you finding though that as you talk to people, are there any real concerns about the leadership of your organization?
Of course,
because it seems to be cropping up a lot.
Of course, you get that feedback all the time, but you have to be able to deal with it. Okay, now you will go certain place in the constituency and in the parish, and they will say to you, okay, well, I don't mind voting for you, but I can't vote for Nas. My issue is that, okay, you can't vote for Nas, but in the first instance, it's not Nas you're voting for. You're voting for Simmons, or you're voting for Hilaire, or you're voting for Philip, or Qualis. So, but Nas is a leader. Yes, of course, but I'm saying to you too that if you have strong representation within your parish, or within your constituency, then whatever negatives you've seen there, the negatives could be able to be managed. And not only that, we have to take into context too that a lot has been said about the political leader of the National Democratic Congress, and a lot of propaganda is centered around it to make sure that he's been put or the face that they want him to represent is a face that is a demon. You know,
it's not us saying it. Those are candidates of the NDC. They're telling you that they're meeting difficulties when they go out there because people don't like their leader.
Yeah, they have to defend him.
No, what we're talking about there is not NNP people, you know. They're not talking about NNP people there. That's their rank and file that they go to, that telling them straight, we don't like the man.
The base.
That's their, well, what used to be their base. And we have to say it like that because the base shatter.
They rode in base.
The shatter.
Yeah.
So they can't blame us for that. Yeah. We are not the ones saying these things. And you know, Devon said earlier, you have to be careful when Glenn Noel gone quiet, you know.
Very young comrades. Let me try to give some guidance to the concept of Touchdown Sundays. Touchdown Sundays is part of the psychological warfare. It's a psychological warfare. It's intended to touch down in a particular area in mass and do mass mobilization, sweeping mobilization. So numbers are important in the sense that we want to gather in a particular spot to show force, to show strength. Having done that, the idea is to knock on doors in a guerrilla warfare type of activity and to ask for the vote for the particular candidate and for the party.
Yeah, I mean, we're quickly running out of time, so we can't play the whole thing today. Yes, but yeah, thanks for the voice note there, Glenn. Yeah. Nice, right, okay.
So you understand. You understand that whole word, that psychological warfare tactic.
And guerrilla warfare.
Yeah, guerrilla style. See?
So you understand
that is where
they're going with.
Yeah.
But in all of that, they don't like the leader.
They don't.
So when you're talking about a party that will fracture and that will fall apart, that's the NDC. Yeah? Because definitely, you know, the interpersonal relation, well, that's the thing, it don't have interpersonal relationships. If you're talking about marriage of convenience, then you're looking at the camp of the NDC, not the camp of the New National Party. And don't try to tell us, no, it's not happening, no, because...
We know. We know better.
We know for a fact.
And we will prove it. As days go by, we will
We know. When we were saying what was happening in the NDC after 2008, some of them used to say, oh, we lying. And then you saw for yourself that what we said was true. Because we knew what we were saying then, and we know what we're saying now. So anyway, let's take what would be your final call for today, Devon?
Yes. Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning.
Good afternoon, sorry. Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Go right ahead,
Go
Paul.
right
How are you doing?
Yeah, quite fine.
Marriage of convenience. That was the marriage that took place in the Northwest constituency a few days ago, between the former minister and the current caretaker. It was a marriage of convenience, because I'll tell you something. They say that a batter was handed over, but that batter is still in the mud. That batter fell from him a long time ago. As a matter of fact, they took the batter away from him. You understand? And it was definitely a marriage of convenience. You understand? But it's first time I hear this one about the guerrilla warfare and the psychological warfare. And that is what a lot of people have to take into consideration. Them fellas decide. Them fellas is not about country. Them fellas is about itself. And if them fellas had guns and things, they might have shoot down people in Grenada. Because you hear what they're talking about? Warfare. When you hear war, what you think about? You think about the guns. You understand? And it's a strategy they had in Sotez up there. They bowed the area and they decide, well, look, they can't use the entire length of the field because people would see what they're up to. You understand? So that is definitely the strategy. They just can't keep their mouth shut. You understand? So people must be very, very, very careful about these fellas and them. Have a good day, my brother.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Yes, folks, and that's nearly about it for us for today. Huh?
We can't
yes,
go no more.
Yeah, we can't go any further than we are right now. So, folks, just remember the meetings for today in St. Patrick. Yeah, in St. Patrick, East and West, they have a joint meeting that's going to be taking at the Rose Hill Junction from 6:30 this afternoon. Yeah, in St. Andrew Southeast, it's going to be at the Marquee Basketball Court. That's from 6:30 p.m. as well. In the South, Montu, from 6:30 p.m., the Honorable Nicholas Steele He'll be there in Montu along with the New National Party team. All right, in St. John, they'll be there in Central Guelph today for 6:30, and in Carriacou, they're in which area? That is Crab Island. Crab Island, is it?
Crab Island.
Crab Island. Yeah, they'll be in Crab Island today. All right, nice. No, they buy Sky today. Crab Island is tomorrow. Yeah, so they buy Sky Shop today.
Yes.
And then they buy Crab Island tomorrow, right? Sky Shop is in which area again, brother? Brunswick? Right, so Brunswick by Sky Shop. Right, for today. All right, folks, and we'll be giving you more information about some of the activities coming up. Remember, you need to check with your constituency offices, get your T-shirts, get your wristbands and so on. Check with the constituency offices and also organize your transportation. We're heading down to Tantine on Sunday, and as I said, there's something special. Just not allowed to see. I just why does do me that? Let me say a thing now, man. I just can't say.
And don't forget, it's a Green Friday, Hard Talk style.
Yeah, Green Friday. Yeah. So down to the glasses and all. I try to find a
PD. PD. I hope you're there. You're listening, you know.
Perron.
The glasses and the thing.
Peter.
Yeah.
Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter. To all of you on the live, we'd like to say thank you for joining us today. And as you always do, we love each and every one of you.
Yeah.
Those of you that joined us via the various radio stations, 91.9, 91.5, that would have left earlier on. Carriacou, 92.9, 89.5, 97.5 right here on mainland, 92.1, Kiss FM right here on mainland, 94.9, We Vibes Radio out there in Brooklyn. We'd like to thank each and every one of you. Remember, the rebroadcast is going to be taking place tonight. That's from 8 p.m. here in Grenada and 10 p.m. in Brooklyn via 94.9, and then a repeat at 3 a.m. in the morning on 89.5. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. And I didn't realize I started playing part of the new clip earlier, and then I stopped it. I started playing part of the new clip earlier and then I stopped it. So we're going to do that tomorrow, all right? That is beautiful. That's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. It's been wonderful being with you. So we'd like to thank each and every one of you. And remember to be safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Do enjoy the rest of your day today. All right.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choices. On March 13th, choose to keep Grenada moving forward. Mark an X next to the house. Vote competence. Vote NNP.
We have done a lot in St. David's to be proud of. I want to thank the people for their continued support. We had great success in the area of education. So we give over 20-something scholarship to university, plus a number of students we help to go to TAMCC. And so education has been my main focus. We have also done a lot of infrastructure work. The St. Dominic's preschool that was gutted by fire in 2011 was completely refurbished.
This school is like an essential school in the area, and we are very happy to have that kind of environment that is conducive for education and learning.
We have done the water treatment plant in Mount Agnes and in Mondelez. And we have done a number of road work throughout the constituency that is there for all to see. We're going to light up the Lassages playing field. We have upgraded 5 playing fields, and including new toilet facilities in the agricultural sector. Continue to give incentives to farmers, help them get to market. For the youth, we have had a number of Imani trainees. A lot of our people got jobs in the call center. In fact, over the last 4.5 years, the unemployment rate in St. David's fell because of the number of young men in the construction sector. And so I am very pleased. I know there are a lot more work to be done. I ask for your continued support so I can continue doing all the work that I've started in St. David's. So St. David's, let's keep moving with the new National Party. The future is bright.
Unify and build an inclusive and productive society.
This was the best candidate for we. Who does run the country the right way? NNP. And work hard for the people all day. NNP. Who's the party that keep it moving?
We're in Caracou and you can see the vibes, feel the energy. There's so much energy here. We're talking to so many people. Let's go around, talk to some more.
Best nation, best group, best party, vote the NMP.
Keep moving. Sitting and watching. That is right, General. Election day, voting. We will welcome you. Because we need hardened and vote cultural facilities.
Now remember, the New National Party would always and has always and would always be the best party, not just for me, but for all the young people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Remember guys, performance always beat overtalk, and the New National Party has always given you great performance.
NMP all the way. Keep on moving. From Ms. Pamela Moses.
March 13th, we voting for Kindra, NMP. Keep moving, keep moving.
Yo, Kemena, NMP all the way. Dr. Keith Mitchell, he's a boss. Vote for him and he'll get what you need. Everything. Vote for the boss and he will give you what you need. NMP all the way. Check. Let's go.
NNP, who's the party that keep it moving? NNP.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the New National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
45 political candidates were nominated in Grenada on Tuesday to contest the March 13th general election. The majority of the candidates will represent the New National Party and National Democratic Congress. The other candidates are from 5 minority parties, and there are 4 independent candidates. During Tuesday's exercise, the NNP and NDC each nominated 15 candidates.
It's a proud moment. It's a very sobering moment to be the nominee, the candidate now officially for the South.
I feel excited. I have a great team with me. We have representation from every PD here, and the excitement is on.
Today is a historical day in my political career, and I feel very good. I'm so happy. I'm overwhelmed with the support that I have received, and I'm also happy that the people has accepted me as the candidate for the New National Party for St. Andrew Northeast.
Excited knowing that you're going forward as the next candidate for the New National Party and then also the next representative for St. Andrews Northwest for a second term.
This is overwhelming for me. It is an honor and a privilege to be so supported by my constituency, St. George Northeast. And despite it all, they come out in the numbers and support, and will continue to do that. We will take this groundswell now and bring it right up into March 13th and beyond.
Very emotional.
Very, very good. And I think we have to give God the praise for today. I thought everything went quite well. There were no hiccups. And first and foremost, I would like to thank all of the loyal NNP supporters who came out today to support myself and Pamela on this very, very important day, which is nomination day.
I feel very happy that we have completed one of the most important tasks for the whole election season, nomination day. So now I am a candidate for St. Patrick's East. That is a great achievement.
From the minority parties, 2 candidates will represent the Grenada Empowerment Movement, GEM, 3 candidates will represent the Progressive Party, TPP, 4 will represent the Grenada Reconnaissance Party, TGR, 1 candidate will represent the Liberal Party, TLP, and 1 candidate will represent the Grenada Progressive Movement, TGPM. The independent candidates are Jocelyn Whiteman, a former member of the New National Party, and Junior Francis, contesting in St. David's, Oswald Peter, St. George's Northwest, and John Fletcher, St. Andrews Southwest. In each constituency, supporters came out in their numbers to support their candidate. There were music, singing, drums, whistles, and in the town of St. George, even a train can be seen. Candidates also had the support of their families, sharing in the nomination. So, Mrs. Steele, it's nomination day. How do you feel?
What can I tell you? Elated, very happy for the candidate, but understanding that there is quite a bit of responsibility for the South, very large constituencies, very many issues, but he is raring to go. This is the first step towards election day, and I think we're ready.
Prime Minister, after his nomination in St. George Northwest, again stressed the New National Party position of supporters to avoid attending opposing candidates' meetings.
My only concern is that we keep this process peaceful and that political parties should not encourage their supporters to attend the political meetings of opposing forces. There's nothing wrong with an opponent being at a meeting, but if you're going there and going right up into the speaker's face and trying to disrupt the political meeting, that's a violation of the law, the election law, and therefore the police, whether it's me or whoever, should arrest us if we do that.
Prime Minister also expressed his concern with the invasion of privacy at his residence with the appearance of drones.
Instead of they go and plan how to get people to support them, all they're thinking is mischief. They're sending drones up to the Prime Minister residence to mark me. Whoever is doing this, let we call them Marco man and Marco woman. NNP will never do that. NNP respect the private lives of people. And I want to tell them, the Prime Minister is a Minister of National Security. That is a serious security problem.
Pamela Moses at the rally in Plains addressed supporters and constituents, emphasizing the work that the New National Party has done and the many projects that's still to come.
Brothers and sisters, right here in St. Patrick's East, we have our own constituency programs for our young people. Our youths who are at risk, we are looking out for them. Those who may fall prey to the ills of society. We are endeavoring to lower crime rates, we'll be lowering unemployment, and we'll be increasing productivity right here in our constituency. Which party is creating jobs for you? Who will be voting NNP? Exactly. Brothers and sisters, our young people in St. Patrick's East would have an opportunity not just to be part of our Imani program. As you know, it's a very successful program that helps to contribute to the development of young people. But they'll be part of a farm project very soon, where our young people would have an opportunity to go to farm school, where they can learn all the scientific skills of farming.
Chester Humphrey gave a passionate speech on Sunday. Mr. Humphrey said he will do something that he has never done before.
Comrades, I am going to do something on March 13th that I never did before in my life. I am going to do something on March 13th that I have never done before. I am going to vote the New National Party.
Mr. Humphrey had a strong message for Grenadians about the opposing National Democratic Congress and its leader, Mr. Nazim Burke.
Comrades,
You know who I am. You have a song. We know what we have. We don't know what we're going to get. I am going to tell you what you're going to get. Comrades, listen to me. Listen to me carefully. We have two choices facing us. We have two applicants for a job. One applicant has been doing the work and has been delivering. The other applicant is applying for the job, and I am going to give you his previous job history, and you will decide whether or not you are going to employ him. Because Mr. Burke is not going to apply for Minister of Finance. He wants to be the Prime Minister. You must decide whether or not you're going to gamble your future, or whether or not you're going to hold on securely to what you have. Comrades, I stand here tonight and I'm not selling myself as an NNP. I stand here as a revolutionary fighter for the workers of this country. And I stand here because of an appeal made by your leader, Dr. Mitchell. And this is not the first time he made that appeal. In 1999, when in the first time in the history of the Caribbean and Grenada, the working people gave him all 15 seats. He made an appeal. And I want you to remember, the then leader of the NDC, George Prison, went and worked with him after the election. Remember that? Good. They didn't call George a traitor. But they expelled me. They kicked me out. They threw me out. They gave me the biggest horn in my life. And then they jailed me. And after they locked me up in the police station, they tell me I am a traitor. Comrades, when they locked me up, I was fighting for the workers of this country. And I stand here today fighting for the workers of this country. And let me tell you what I got and what the workers got. Let's reflect. The new National Party enacted the Labor Code, the Employment and the Labor Relations Act since 1999. Remember that. Comrades, I begged, I fought, I prayed, I asked the National Democratic Congress to remove income tax and severance pay because workers were losing their jobs left, right, and center. Banks were closing. RBTT closed 2 of its branches, one in Grenville and its headquarters in Tongue. First Caribbean, 2 of its branches, one in Carriacou, one in Grenville. Bank of Nova Scotia closed its branch. Hundreds of workers were losing their jobs. You know that I fought and put the National Democratic Congress in office. And I went to them in the first convention after they won the election in 2008. In the GBSS auditorium in March, I went there and presented them with a resolution to remove income tax and severance pay. And the resolution passed. I got a big applause just like how I get here tonight. But do you know what happened? The man who is now applying for the job, he never gave it. Nazim Burke stalled. He refused to implement the income tax on severance pay is only when he see water more than flour, and the writing was on the wall that the people were going to run him out of town, that he changed it. And he did it only for 1 year. So hundreds of workers in telephone company and in the banks had to pay income tax on severance pay. Dr. Mitchell gave the Technical and Allied Workers Union and myself a promise. And within 3 months of taking office in 2013, at the May Day rally in Las Vegas, Dr. Mitchell revealed that the new National Party will remove income tax on severance pay with effect from January the 1st. Who you voting? Make no mistake about that. The man who fought against it now is applying for the job. The good thing about it, you the people will decide whether he getting that job or not. Would you give Nas that job? Comrades, let's keep moving. The new National Party removed personal income tax on pensions, something Mr. Burke refused to do. The new National Party removed income tax on NIS. Comrades, what about the social protocol that is responsible for this country succeeding in the fiscal reforms that it had to do? We spent 2.5 years negotiating with Mr. Burke to get that social protocol through to protect the jobs of the workers. Mr. Burke never reached an agreement with us. Within 1 year and 5 months of the NNP coming into office, for the first time in the history of Grenada, a social protocol was signed, and then we keep moving. Comrades, ask Mr. Burke, during the time he was in office, how many public officers did he make permanent? The answer is simple, 1 big zero. To date, as I stand here, the new National Party, and with the leadership of Lydon Lewis, heading the Teachers Union, over 300 teachers have been made permanent, a problem that is over 40 years old in this country, the new National Party. Comrades, that is why I am here. Take pensions. Not too long from now, the Prime Minister will make an announcement, because a problem which was started since in 1983, the new National Party is about to solve that problem, and public officers will have their pensions restored. Comrades, 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 and to the young people, when I defend the job of your parents, I am defending you. When I protect the job of your parents, I am protecting you. And therefore, when I call on your parents as workers to vote for the new National Party, I am calling on you to do the same. Comrades, after that long struggle with the brewery workers, 66 days, you remember when I had to go and lie down in front of a truck, a moving truck, and I said, take my life, I will defend the workers.
Peter David, candidate for the town of St. George, also addressed supporters with a message of unity. David stressed to the people that these are very serious times and reminded everyone that many of the things we take for granted came as a result of long struggles.
Brothers and sisters, these are very, very serious times. We jumping and we waving, but it's serious times. I have many friends in St. Patrick's, many friends who went with us through this journey from the Black Power movement, the youth movement, the revolutionary period, the NDC, and to this day. Today, brothers and sisters, I see many of those faces in front of me. I want to recognize them and to tell them that we are still on that journey. We have come a long way, brothers and sisters. Many of the things we take for granted today in this country, simple things, brothers and sisters, like the right to vote. We have come a long way because many of the things we have today that we take for granted came as a result of long struggles. It was Fedor in the struggle against slavery, or Gary with the right to vote, or Maurice Bishop with the right to people's participation in politics. Today, brothers and sisters, I believe we are achieving great things. I believe the main features of this period is economic development, unity, and stability. Brothers and sisters, and these two things are linked. The unity that we are seeing today in our country, the stability that we are seeing in our country is necessary for economic development.
Mr. David, in his speech to the people, warned about the National Democratic Congress and its leadership.
Brothers and sisters, I love this country. I believe that Grenada is one of the greatest nations in the Caribbean and the world. I love this country like I love myself. And I know that you love Grenada too. But I want to tell you something. I know that there are many persons in other parties who love this country just as much. I know that there are members of the NDC who love this country just as much. I have no problems with the members of the NDC. I have no problem with the workers of the NDC. I spent many of my years in the NDC and I have come to know some fine people. Brothers and sisters, my problem is with a small clique within the NDC who has hijacked that party for their own purposes. That is the problem I have. Brothers and sisters, when we won the election, I was in NDC in 2008, it is because we had tried to make the party more people-centered. And it is because of our attempts to do that. It is because of our attempts to root the party in the people that myself, Chester Humphrey, Colin LaBarry, Yvonne James, Ali Gill, Kenny Fullerton, and many others were expelled. My brother Joe Gilbert, who represented St. Patrick's West, he was also expelled. That is why we were expelled, brothers and sisters, today. Today I have no apology in saying that I believe that the new National Party is the best party to represent the people of this country. I believe, brothers and sisters, that the people of Grenada know that. Look at what happened to the NDC. When we came into the party, they were at 0. We moved the party to 7, and we then took it to 11. When they expelled us, where did they go back to? 0. And that is what we have today. A party that the ordinary workers of this country know does not represent their interest. You heard Brother Chester. Brother Chester spent his entire life fighting for the people of this country. Many of us have gone through all of the historic struggles of this country. But today, brothers and sisters, take this seriously. Today, we are at the cusp. We are at the edge of the takeoff of this country, and we need to support the new National Party.
Dr. Clarice Modeste, candidate for St. Mark, in her address, took the time to welcome to the House the new supporters. Dr. Modeste also highlighted the continued progress of the new National Party.
Very importantly, I know a lot of people just joined the party. They're just christened into the house of the new National Party. Let's welcome all the new christened people in the house of the new National Party. We love you, we love Grenada, and together we will build. Brothers and sisters, Grenada is once more back on track. Grenada is once more held in high esteem, not just in the region, but internationally. When you see our short Prime Minister go out there, the man is walking tall, he's holding his head high and talking Grenada because he has brought us out of a time of misery. Brothers and sisters, we suffered 4.5 years of disaster, but for the past 4.5 years now, we have been building back better. Brothers and sisters, business is booming. Unemployment is going down. And many persons can eat a food, as we say locally. Let us not put Grenada in reverse gear. Let us not put Grenada, as somebody said, behind Z. We have to stay on track, brothers and sisters. So in the tourism sector, we have been growing by leaps and bounds.
NNP focuses on people every time. That's according to the leader of the new National Party and Prime Minister Keith Mitchell to Grenadians.
As you know, 3 weeks and 2 days from today, you are going to be asked to vote for yourselves, for your children, for your family, and of course your country. 3 weeks from today, you got to vote for national unity and Project Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. 3 weeks from today, you're going to be asked to vote for continued social and economic development of your beautiful country. 3 weeks from and 2 days from today, you're going to be asked to vote for a team of builders, a team of love, and a team of people who care deeply about you and this country. 3 weeks and 2 days from today, you're going to be asked to vote for a team that focus on people first all the time. Our opponent says, if you vote for them, when they win, they go focus on people. NNP focuses on people all the time.
Prime Minister also spoke about the public pension for public workers.
Sisters and brothers, just listen to this. We have been working extremely hard, the public service leadership and the government, working with the trade union movement to deal with the issue of pension for public workers. Tonight, sisters and brothers, I want to inform you, only this afternoon, both sides have come to an agreement on the issue of dealing with public pension for public workers, sisters and brothers.
This is Campaign Central. I am Nolene Thompson. Join us again next time.
This level of deterioration is as a result of heavy waves lashing against the land. It's a sight for sore eyes, and it's wreaking havoc on the tongue of satyrs in the parish of St. Patrick. A huge loss of the beachfront, loss of property that has been beaten by the seawater day after day, and a huge loss to residents as the beach they once knew is no more.
Because all trees go from up the beach, come right down, we used to run below grapes tree, almond tree, everything. Jump on some sandbag coming down the road here, which all right down to here, where we're standing. Come up to the old post office street, right where we're standing. Even going down to the lagoon. You have a lagoon right there. And after down to the spinner down there, you had some sandbag down there again. But as time goes on, and little erosion take place, start to eat the land.
And from Lake Boy coming along here, you had plenty sand from the stone. Come right down, sand, you used to have a boat up there, but then every year like the sea coming in and in, because of the mining of the sand along the road.
The problem is that all of this seafront here is being eroded because of the rising sea levels and the sand that's disappearing, and so the whole of the beachfront here is being eroded, as you can see. This should also.
I recall as a little boy we used to be walking along the sea coast. Now you can't walk because of this severity of erosion that is taking place. So that is something we have to address first and foremost, and then the development potential.
But all is not lost. Help is on the way. The Keith Mitchell-led administration commenced yet another project under its Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Program to deal specifically with the problem. It is called the St. Patrick Breakwater Project. This project started in July 2016 at a cost of $4.6 million. It will see the construction of a 1,500 feet breakwater structure from the shore out to the sea and towards the old jetty. So what does the project hope to achieve? According to officials, it will create a system that will calm the water heading into shore, which will lessen damages done to the sand and buildings on the seafront.
The effect of climate change on the planet in general, and on small island development states in particular, can no longer be challenged.
We're going to be building a stone core that's going to be 1,500 feet long. It's 50 feet wide at the bottom, 25 feet wide at the top. We're going to head straight out to the corner of Leapers Hill, go straight out another 200 feet to the end of the whole island, and then we're going to turn left and we're going to head down towards the jetty. We'll see where we get to. All right?
Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, Honorable Anthony Boson, highlighted some of the benefits of the project.
Of the breakwater, so we can protect against coastal erosion which is taking place. Right? That is our immediate concern. And at the same time, provide a calmer environment for the fishermen so they can bring in the boats and take on the boats. Beyond that, we have to look at the economic potential that this project provides. And we all believe that this could be the site of the yacht marina, right? Because we have discussed that with the yachting fraternity, and they fully support the idea of having the marina in Satyrs because it is the halfway point between, let's say, Point Solin and the Lower Grenadines. So yachtsmen live in St. George's would overnight here, and in the morning take off for what they really come here to do, to enjoy the Grenadines.
With almost a year on the calendar for contractor Don Decall to get the job done, investors, yacht owners and fishermen are already anticipating its use and counting the many benefits it can bring to the parish and by extension Grenada.
It's very important for us here.
Explain why you think so.
Because they will, once they finish the project,
It will come down the sea here, plenty sun will come back, and we'll have enough place to have a boat as well.
Already, I've had a call to ask if the Amelia could get in here in October to deliver some cargo. I've been asked by a brave young man if during the new cruise ship season, if he would be able to come up with a boat to bring up tourists.
Well, I think that the whole area will benefit by an increase in the number of visitors. I mean, I hope that eventually the Carriacou ferry would call in here on its way down to St George's, save us this hour-long drive down to St George's to get the ferry to come back up just past where we set out from. So I hope that the ferry will call in eventually, and then I hope we will have here, we will have anchorages for yachts that will call in on their way up to Carriacou and on their way back down. And I think that I think the breakwater will be the start of, I hope, a lot of development here.
Counting chickens before they hatch, you may say, but it's a sign of hope after so much loss. Residents speak of how heart-wrenching it was watching the area disappear so rapidly before their eyes.
Many walls falling down, buildings are cracking, and we cannot afford for that to be happening.
So when a sheet apply, if a truck passing in the road, the whole place shaking. Yeah. If you stay there and the sea rough and the wave break, the place shaking. So it's like, you know, just waving on something.
Yeah. On the beach. There's an old reef along the top. You can see where the waves are breaking there. Yeah. There's an old reef there. And apparently, 200 years ago, some of that used to be out of the water, and this was a much calmer bay than it is now. But storms and rising sea levels have eroded the area, eroded the reef, and really they're sort of putting back onto the reef to create what was probably here 200 years ago. Well, hopefully a little better than it was then.
So far, the St. Patrick Breakwater project has met no opposition. After all, it has huge potential that will facilitate in the development of the historic parish.
The Breakwater project is a very good project. That's the best they could do for St. Patrick's right now. Let us save it. Yeah, I think it will have a great impact on St. Patrick's. Bringing a lot of maybe help tourism and everything like that, and you know, help the place to develop.
I think it's absolutely marvellous. I think it's something that's been wanted for a long time. I think it has the potential to create a huge amount of add-on after it's been built. I think both in terms of the Grenada yachting industry and general development for Sauterres and St. Patrick's itself.
Well, the Breakwater project is very nice. It's a very good thing for St. Patrick's because that's the north and the pressure coming from the north. And we need to really backfill this area to save the church, to save the supermarkets like Mr. Kenny Supermarket. Then we have a doctor office, that's Mr. Farmer office.
That we will have a good situation where the lands are protected, the sea will get calm, the boats will be able to come in, the fishermen will be able to fish in peace and harmony, and the entire St. Patrick will be there.
For State of Affairs, I am Rakisha St. Louis. In just a few short months after the start of work on the St. Patrick Breakwater project, residents and business operators along the coast of the town of Sauterres is already applauding the amazing results of the initiative. Rakisha St. Louis visited the site again and filed a progress report. The last time I brought you an update from this site at the Sauterres Breakwater project, the project was at this point getting ready to make its turn back to the old jetty. As you can see from the view behind me, this $4.8 million project is well on its way and nearing completion. This is what the beachfront looked like before the start of the St. Patrick's Breakwater project. Do you see the damage? Do you see how close to the shore and buildings the waves are breaking? This is why the project was given urgent attention by the Keith Mitchell-led administration. It is one of the projects under the government's Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Program. The SOA team paid a visit to the site just before Christmas and spoke to some of the residents about the project's progress.
We can't wait for it to be completed. It is a 5-phase project. Don De Call, who's managing it, comes here quite a lot. But I think it's well managed, and it is. We're already seeing the differences to the water. You know, the difference to the water, because it's obviously going to try and calm it down, so we can put anchorages up and have boats there.
Growing up as a little boy, I knew we had a lot of sand. People saw this come on the beach and bathe. They can't even sit anywhere on the beach now. From ever since up here has been kind of choppy area, being as we're in the north of the island. And the breakwater they're building there, believe me, is going to really come in handy, and of course it's going to save the coastline and a lot of the buildings on the coastline.
The area was nice and everything, because you had all trees go from up the beach, come right down. We used to run below Grapes Tree, almond tree, everything, jump on some sandbag coming down the road here. Which all right down to here, where we're standing. Come up to the old post office street, right where we're standing here. Even going down to the lagoon. You have a lagoon right there. And after down to the spinner down there, you had some sandbag down there again. But as time goes on, and little erosion take place, you start to eat the land.
Now, this $4.6 million project will see the construction of a 1,500-foot breakwater structure from the shore towards the old jetty behind the fish market. The structure is expected to calm the water heading into shore and lessen the damage to the seafront and buildings on its course. Parliamentary Representative Honorable Anthony Boson, during his contribution to the 2017 budget, highlighted the importance of the $1 million project.
Mr. Speaker, this project should have been on stream over 8 years ago, because the Exim Bank of China agreed to provide the financing for the breakwater and for the development of a marina project. And that is why I'm talking about continuity, Mr. Speaker, because when the then administration took over in 2008, they abandoned that project on the principle that it is too big for St. Patrick, Mr. Speaker. See where continuity comes into play? As a result of not doing that project, the lower part of Sotez suffered serious erosion, threatening the existence of buildings, roads, Mr. Speaker. I want to commend our Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, notwithstanding the difficult financial situation. He went to Sotez and he saw what was happening, and he said we have to do something about the project, Mr. Speaker. And now that project is on stream.
Now, into its 5th month, the contractor, Don De Call, and his team took a break for the Christmas holiday. But that did not prevent Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell from paying a visit to the site on December 28th. Dr. Mitchell expressed pride and joy at the progress of the project, which started out on a rocky path, pun intended.
We didn't have the amount of money immediately, and he agreed that he would be able to do it based on monthly allocations. And therefore we made the allocations, and he had to, of course, put out initially some resources. And therefore it's working well. I think we're meeting the basic responsibility that we agreed to. So I think we're on target. I'm so proud of this, and I believe Sotez would feel extremely proud when this is all over, and the opportunities that it will create for further development in St. Patrick's, maybe a marina or other aspects of development.
The St. Patrick's Breakwater project is already a hot topic for many investors, yacht owners and fishermen, as they anticipate its use and its many benefits for the parish and, by extension, Grenada.
At the moment, Grenada is very much a one centre, which is the south, more or less the southwest corner, and all the tourism, the airport,
all happens down south.
It all happens down there, and the rest, and certainly the north of the island, is a little bit of a backwater. Whereas I think if we can get this breakwater built to start with, is built properly, I'm absolutely sure a marina will follow in time, and that will open up the north of the island. From the yachting industry point of view, it is too far really to sail in one hit from St. George's to Carriacou, which is the next safe anchorage. If there's a nice safe anchorage berth here in Sauteurs, then I think a lot of boats will make this the first stop on their way up.
It coming down up here, it would bring a lot more boats to come and dock on the area, because me myself, I own a boat, right? I bring fish to the Sutter's Fish Market. And my boat, I have to keep my boat down at the other end of the beach. And right now it's just as rough as up here, so I can't go and fish. And that is one of the major problems, because you see, all the boats, you see the fishermen have to bring up their boat up on the dry land itself. You can't even stay by the beach. And there's a big handbug for them fishing, so getting the water to calm down and everything is going to be a real nice improvement, and maybe it's going to attract other boating companies to establish their businesses up here and, you know, start developing Sutters, making Sutters a little bit better.
And to save Sutters from mashing up. It's one of the best projects have been done for a long, long time. And everybody was looking forward for that. And today we will get it, and praise the government, the NNP government, for doing such a project like that. We welcome it, we're glad for it, and we're always very happy about it. We will save the whole of Sutter's Coast.
Bring in a lot of maybe help tourism and everything like that, and, you know, help the place to develop.
Reporting from the site of the Sutter's Breakwater Project, I am Rikisha St. Louis for State of Affairs. Wow! Do you see what I'm seeing? The beachfront at the Sutter's Bay is back! This is what the bay looked like last year. Now, do you understand my amazement? This huge destruction caused by the lashing of waves against buildings and the seashore is the reason why the St. Patrick Breakwater Project was given urgent attention by the Keith Mitchell-led administration in 2016. Since then, the project has been progressing smoothly, and proof of its effectiveness is evident. The project falls under the government's Disaster Vulnerability Reduction Program. The $4.6 million project sees the erection of a 1,500-foot breakwater structure from the shore towards the old jetty, which is expected to calm the water heading into the shore and lessen the damage to the seafront. So far, so good, says project contractor Don Decall.
And we are pleased. We can see that the beach has come back. We can see that new beaches are being built on the Leapers Hill. The water has certainly calmed down, and I see that the fishermen are now using the bay even to grow sea moss.
Government is particularly pleased that the project, though not yet complete, is already reaping results. Recently, Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West Honourable Anthony Boson and Works Minister Honourable Gregory Bowen paid a visit to the project site, and they were amazed by its progress and the transformation of the area.
As we all know, this was an area that was under serious threat and coastal erosion, and the government has seen it fit to provide the necessary funding, albeit under very difficult circumstances, to undertake this project. We have seen tremendous transformation since then, as you have noticed. The beach has returned. The fishermen are happy, the residents are happy, and therefore I believe that this is just the first phase of what could be a transformative event for St. Patrick, the breakwater, because once the area is calm, the coastal area is preserved, and we create what we call an environment for yachting, then we can see further development taking place. So I'm very excited about the prospect of future development as a result of this first phase of the breakwater, which is primarily an environmental project, but we will have to go beyond that.
This project in particular, with the PPP, is really doing well for this area, and our boats and things will have a place of shelter, talking from the fisheries department, as well as the development that the minister has already mentioned.
Since the project commenced last year, the contractor and his team has worked constantly, weekdays and on weekends, to meet the proposed deadline. Contractor Don Decall says the project is still on schedule.
Well, we have until the end of August to complete the project. I think we are well on schedule at this point in time, and we should get it done by that time. There's probably maybe about 400 feet remaining for us to complete the project.
Residents of St. Patrick, especially home and business owners close to the seafront, were forced to spend thousands to build barriers to protect their property. Fishermen were deprived from hauling their boats onto the shore. Some could not even make it past the rough waves to earn their livelihood. But now this has all changed. Do you see the boats on the shore? Children swimming in the now calm water? State of Affairs has already brought you 2 updates on this project, and the responses from the people remain the same. They are indeed happy to have some normalcy back in their lives and look forward to the future developments that the project offers.
Everything is positive. I'm yet to hear someone express a negative view about this project. Everybody is saying how this project is a very important project, a necessary project. And as I said, it could be a catalyst for other things to happen. And I'm saying the excitement is there, and people are looking forward to what next.
Yes, I see improvement. I mean, the seashore to the far end of the usually used to be very rough, very, very rough. But now you see it's calmed down because they already cover a whole area. I don't know what amount of distance, but it make inside up to that area very calm already. I hoping that they continue to reach down to the end of the jetty so that the whole beach side here, all by the fish market here, gonna be much calmer.
And looking back at the sea, it goes back a lot. So it's a good thing for St. Patrick. Well, the water is coming in back there, hitting the septic tank and coming in. No, you could work because they could not pass in the back, they're walking.
I think it's a good idea because right now you could see the effect of it. There used to be so rough, especially up there. The water used to be banging on the rock up there. Right now you can see cool down a bit and the beach come nice. And I think it's all we have to focus. When it complete, we want to see, I'll condemn in it when it complete. They want to see really what they're doing there.
We spend a lot of money on trying to protect it, but every year it keeps on getting worse and worse. So we had to pray for the government to do that project. The beach, you have more room there to do anything you want to do there right now. You have space, the water not coming and touch the buildings.
Especially to the shore.
Right.
Especially to the shore. But now it's pretty okay. Pretty okay. I mean, I happy that they continue, and I just hope that they do everything that they have planned, so that the southern fishermen and maybe other fishermen in Grenada may benefit. Now I myself, I have a trawler as well, and I hoping that what they said they will do, once they continue, my trawler will be this.
And if you look there now, you hardly see what you can really do, because the sand come and cover up everything. And to me, well, yes, as far as they get the break or the water go down, the less pressure coming. Yeah, less pressure.
Like many, Minister Boson is looking forward to the completion of Phase 1 and the start of the second phase.
We go into Phase 2, which will be more of what they call a commercial type operation. This is mainly the utility in terms of protecting the environment, protecting the coastal area, but we want to go beyond that. But we have to get a cooperation of even private participants, investors who may want to come in and partner with us.
Whether you take a bird's eye view of the St. Patrick Breakwater project or you're just taking a photo from the jetty, the picture will definitely tell 1,000 words about this project. For State of Affairs, I am Rakisha St. Louis reporting.
We have done a lot in St. David's to be proud of. I want to thank the people for the continued support. We had great success in the area of education. So we give over 20-something scholarships to university, plus the number of students we have to go to country. And so education has been a big We've also done a lot of infrastructure work. The St. Dominic School that was gutted by fire in 2011, completely refurbished.
And you can see the vibe, feel the vibe, feel the energy. There's so much energy here. We're talking to so many people. Let's go around and talk some more.
We have done the water treatment plant in Mount Agnes and in Mondelez. And we have done a number of road work throughout the constituency that is there for all to see.
Because we need hardened and votes NMP facilities.
Now remember, the New National Party would always and has always and would always be the best party, not just for me, but for all the young people of Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Remember guys, performance always beat old talk, and the New National Party has always given you great performance.
NMP all the way. Keep on moving from Ms. Pamela Moses. March 13th, we voting for Kinja, NMP. Keep moving, keep moving.
Yo, Kemina, NMP all the way. Dr. Keith Mitchell, he's a boss. Vote for him and he'll get what you need. Everything. Vote for the boss and he will give you what you need. NMP all the way. Let's go.
NMP, who's the party that keep it moving? NMP.
It's not really complicated. Elections are about choices. On March 13th, choose to keep Grenada moving forward. Mark an X next to the house. Vote competence. Vote NNP.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the New National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.